Brisbane to me is just about trying something new.
You've got world-class restaurants, super delicious, lots of flavours.
Everywhere you go, there's great nightlife. It's laid back, and we're just hanging out in the sunshine.
Just walking around and having so much nature is insane to me.
Beautiful sky, beautiful weather. So much to do. You'll just never be bored.
I think Brisbane's for
Anybody.
Yeah, whoever.
It's lively, it's fun.
Brisbane definitely favours the bold.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the 2026 AusCycling Esports National Championships. I'm Kate Bates. I'm here with Sean Moran. Sean, we are in for an absolute delight tonight. We've got 5 riders for the women, 5 for the men for an in-person final.
Yes, correct. There's a national championship jersey on the line tonight, so everyone's going to be trying their hardest.
Yeah, and so they've all gotten here by way of qualifying rounds, so they kind of already have a bit of a form guide. But tonight they're going to go through a series of 2 races. Each race is 12 kilometres.
Yes, correct. We've got a puncher's sort of race to start with and then a sprinter's race to finish with. So it's going to be quite tactical, Katie. So
yeah, and we'll take a look at the race profiles in a moment. It is a point system. I mean, quite basically, the more points you have, the closer you can win. Whoever has the most points at the end, it's that pure.
correct. I think we'll go through all the courses now.
So let's take a look. Now, the first course for the first race up tonight is the Punchers Playground. This is a rough one, honestly. It's good for the climbers. But, Sean, there's 5 checkpoints along the way for them to earn points. Every checkpoint has the same amount of points as the other.
Exactly. So we've got 2 sprints and 2 QOMs for the females. 300 metres of elevation going throughout the course. So that's going to be a bit spicy.
Yeah, it's pretty significant. And you can see our gorgeous little graphic climbing a pretty significant hill, a bit of a Mount Cootha.
I reckon there's a Cootha there.
Yeah, we're at QT Gardens Point in the Cube. This is part of the Brisbane Cycling Festival. If you were able to look out the window, you'd see the beautiful Mount Cootha. That's a little bit what this course is like. So this will suit some riders more than others. And then, Sean, the second race, and they've only got like 8 minutes in between, so it's a little bit of a torture chamber. They all chose to be here, I might add.
Yes.
Is a flat, is more for the sprinters. So that's called Sprinters Paradise.
Yep.
8 laps, 1.5 kilometres per lap, and there's double points at the finish, though.
Double points at the finish and points every lap. So it's going to be a tactical masterclass, that one.
Yeah, it is. So let's take a look at it. It's pretty much a criterium track, right?
It's a crit track. Yeah. I reckon a lot of these riders have ridden quite a few crits in their life, so should be quite a comfortable environment for them.
Yeah, we do have a lot of crossover between road and track athletes and esports as well. But as we saw on the graphic, it's not dead flat.
It's not. There's a few lumps in there.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it'll be an interesting race. So I think the lumps will actually separate the riders a little bit. You know, charge up the climbs a little bit.
Charge up the climb. We will talk about tactics, especially when we start looking at the individual riders who've qualified for the final. But it is quite significant that there's only 8 minutes in between. So that's not a large amount of time to recover. You're not meaningfully.
It's fatigue management and lactate management.
Yeah, well, it'll be coming out of their eyeballs by the end of it, I reckon. So we've got 5 women in the final. Now, in years previous, this is the 3rd time we've had it in person here in the Cube in QT. And to describe the environment here, it is magnificent screens. Like, it is just a digital paradise.
It's incredible.
So it's a wonderful sight to behold, but also for the athletes, there's a lot going on, and you can see them warming up here. They all look pretty cool, calm and collected for now.
Yeah, those fans are blowing on them pretty hard though.
Yeah. Well, and the fans actually they get faster as their heart rate improves, which is good.
Does it really?
Now we're working with some wonderful student journalists here from QUT, and so we're going to go to Kayla, who is in the cube. Kayla, how is it in there? Are all their bikes set up?
They absolutely are. Thank you so much. Yes, so basically the way the races work here is that the athletes bring their own bikes from wherever in Australia they are from here to the cube. We then attach a randomly assigned trainer, which is a device that connects to the back, and it monitors the athlete's power output as well as the resistance, adding the resistance to the bikes. The athletes then, the exertion that they put through the bike is what drives an avatar on a virtual race course in real time.
Unreal, Kayla. Thank you so much. These bikes, Sean, are magnificent. Have fun, Kayla. It really is what she said is all of the trainers are the same. So it doesn't matter if you have a $20,000 bike on the trainer or a $10 bike on the trainer. It makes no difference. Sean, we've also got Cal. Now, the atmosphere out there is fantastic. Cal, you're up and about closer to the VIP area and where some fans are. What's it like in there?
Thank you, Katie and Sean. The atmosphere here is certainly feeling very confident. As mentioned, this is just another business as usual for them. Cyclists are looking pretty confident and warming up right now. What I can hear most clearly is the sound of the sprinters. And I'm pretty sure as the race goes on, you'll definitely hear it as loud as it gets. And the crowd is also trickling in just in time for the women's race. We will only get to see the more exciting uphill battle that will occur soon enough. Back to the studio.
Oh, unreal, Cal. Thank you so much. She makes a really good point that the noise is only going to increase in there.
Correct. And that's just going to create adrenaline for the riders and push them to the end.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think that, the difference between doing it in person here versus doing it in your garage, I don't know. Do you think that you'd feel any different in here? Would it be more anxious for you? Or
100%. I'd be fully anxious, but I'd also be in the moment too.
Yeah.
It'll just drive you to the finish line.
Oh, some people like a crowd, right?
Absolutely.
They want people, fans, literal fans.
Yes.
No, but we were talking about the fans before. So what Kayla was saying about the bikes, they go on the trainers, jet black trainers, and if you win tonight, you don't just get a jersey, the national champions jersey, the green and gold, and of course a medal, but you also get one of the jet black trainers.
Correct.
So that's a pretty good prize.
Oh, I'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I reckon they'll be tired enough that we could probably arm wrestle them for it and sneak out with one of the trainers ourselves.
I reckon we should propose that to them.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. Let's have a look at who our female finalists are today. We've got 5 sensational women.
So we've got Dana Davidson. She qualified 5th last week in the qualifying event, and she's a multiple Masters national road champ. She's one of the older stallions in the field, so it's quite impressive to see her here.
She calls herself one of the cycling grannies. I don't think that's necessarily fair, Dana. You're a bit of a legend.
Absolutely.
And she's got a lot of experience. Brianna Samuel is our next finalist. She rides for Park Life Cycling Club, that is in Western Sydney. She is an excellent, Sean, mountain biker and gravel rider in particular. She's got incredible bike skills, not going to particularly be too helpful tonight in esports. That's why it's such a pure discipline. She has got a massive engine.
Correct.
She's so capable. I'm really excited to see her race. But Katie Banerjee, Sean,
she won the qualifying event last week, and it's quite impressive. So she's a Masters World Champion. She's a super strong climber. And I'm excited to see how she's going to go in the punches race, because I think that's got her name all over it.
That's right. So Tilly Field is our next up. And look, she's the reigning champion. She actually won from her garage in Mallorca last year because she was riding professionally for the Movistar Esports team. She's got an enormous amount of experience. She qualified for the finals of the Esport World Championships last year, held by MyWhoosh in Abu Dhabi in person.
Wow.
That was magnificent. She loves a big performance.
Yes.
So it really helps for her.
And we've got Peter Antonello as our last rider, and she's from the Geelong and Footscray Cycling Club. She qualified 4th last week in the qualifying event, and She came fourth in 2024 in the final that was held here at the Cube itself. So hopefully she can better that result tonight, and who knows, she could be wearing the green and gold at the end of the night.
Well, she'll certainly here to try. All right, let's take a listen. Our QUT journalism students had a chat to some of the riders earlier in the week.
I think the thing with racing on esports is that I find personally that when you look at a course or you study a course, there's a lot more sort of cognitive thought processes that go into that, and you can prepare for a course. And like some of the races now on MyWhoosh, they have a wind factor coming in as well. So you have to look at what's coming up. You have to look at what your watts per kilo of your competitors are doing. You have to account for the wind. So there's a lot of variables, which makes it really interesting. I know what my skills are, or what I'm good at, and I know what I'm not so good at. So how can I make sure that I maximize what I'm good at? And when it's an area where I know I'm going to struggle, how can I make sure that I just hold in there and stay with the group and don't get dropped? So the first course, I think, is the Puncher's Playground, which is quite short, sharp, punchy climbs. It really is a course for everyone and all different style of athletes. And I think the 5 of us that have made the final are all quite different in our styles and riding strength areas. We're all in with a chance at somewhere along that course, and I think it could pan out in many, many different ways. So hopefully that will make it really interesting for the people watching.
My approach to the sport is I try not to take it too seriously while giving it the respect it deserves. So I think that helps me to take a bit of that pressure on myself off, and I do think that's a little bit of a key as to how I find success in the sport. I wouldn't say I feel too nervous, but yeah, there's obviously an expectation to defend the title. And the thing about esports, it is so transparent. So you see your competitor's power, and you can really place yourself within where you would expect to come. So I obviously know where the competitors sit on it more or less. And so I guess I do expect a result out of myself. I do hope to defend the title. And I just try and channel what maybe would be pressure into just commitment to achieving that result.
So Tilly Field comes in as the champion. She said she feels the expectation, the weight on her shoulders. It's a bit different to come in as an underdog, which is where she felt like she was last year, versus coming in with a target on your back.
Yes, correct. It's there is a little bit of pressure there for her, and she's got some tough competition. So it's going to be a very interesting race. And we're under 4 minutes to the race now.
Yeah, not too long. So the riders are warming up. They're out in the cube, getting nice and hot and sweaty, and getting ready to race. Now, Katie Banerjee, she talked about having so many different attributes. All of the riders are quite different. And there they are, the 5 of them. They're quite compact. You can see that the name tags are there, so that's nice and easy to identify. Tilly, well, she'd be very visible outdoors, which is fantastic. But all 5 of them are quite different. Katie pointed it out. Katie, for her strengths, she's an incredible climber.
Yes.
And Puncher's Paradise is going to be really, really important for her. Tilly's a bit more of an all-rounder.
Correct.
There's different strategies that goes into this.
And the best thing about this competition tonight is it's based off points. So everyone's able to get some sort of points on the table. So I think, like, for Katie, she'll be hitting that climb as fast as she can, get 40 points at the top of it. But the likes of Tilly, she could be going for, like, one of the sprint points on the Puncher's course. So it's going to be very interesting to see how each rider plays it out. But it's, very even field.
I mean, you can see it's actually quite social amongst the riders. You know, like, there's a lot of respect. And, I mean, the minute the start gun goes, that'll all change. Throw that out the window. It's on like Donkey Kong then. But for the most part, all of the riders really respect each other and their capabilities. And there is also a bit of an understanding that while they have their own strategies, you can only do what you can do.
Correct.
You know?
And the thing I like the most about esports is all the data is so transparent.
Yeah.
You can see how each rider's going, what their heart rate's doing. And for these riders in the room tonight, they can actually sense the physical exertion that the rider's going through, their competitors. So it's going to be interesting.
So we're not too far off the start of the first race now. So to remind you, there's 2 races up tonight. Both are 12 kilometres, but quite different in profile. The first is the Puncher's Paradise. The sprint after that, which is essentially a criterium. There's 8 minutes, potentially more in between. Maybe, and I say maybe a little bit more because the start times are predetermined. There's 28 minutes from the start of the first race to the start of the second.
Okay.
Depends how hard they race.
Correct.
And it wouldn't surprise me actually, Sean, and we'll see it play out pretty quickly. But if somebody like Katie Banerjee goes pretty hard from the beginning to just maximise the number of points she can get over the climbs, and the other riders let her go.
Let her go, and then Katie's got an extra minute of rest at the end.
Well, that's right, because there's no difference if you get second a minute behind.
Yeah.
Right, so there's no point using too much energy. And likewise, Katie Banerjee, if she were the first to move, for example, over the climbs, she's also not going to want to be 2 minutes in front.
Correct.
She only needs to be, 10 seconds or 10 metres or 1 metre.
Oh, exactly.
Really.
As long as she gets those points on the line, that's all that matters.
Yep, so it's about efficiency. We're about 15 seconds away from the start time. Here we go, we can see it. 5 riders out on course. Dana Davidson, Katie Banerjee, Matilda Field, Peter Antonello and Brianna Samuel. And there they are,
here we are
in live.
Tilly's already out of the saddle. It's full gas from the start.
So they're underway, 12 kilometres ahead in the Puncher's Paradise. We've got all the wonderful data down the side.
It's incredible. I saw Brianna hit 10 watts per kilo out of the start line. It's insane, but it's quite tight at the moment. So it'll be interesting. I think like for the first part of this race, it's going to be quite tight. There's not going to be much that's going to split it apart.
No, and you can see certainly both from the body language of the avatars as well as what the data is telling us. You can tell how much of an effort they are making. This is designed. This course is meant to be lumpy. Like Puncher's Paradise, it's not for the pure climbers, but it's certainly not for the pure sprinters.
Correct.
And we're looking at Katie Banerjee there. So the data that we're seeing, the power, the heart rate has dropped out, actually, interestingly, because it is a requirement. In order to keep it transparent, it's a requirement that they do have functional heart rate monitors. They also have, to talk about their equipment for a moment, they also have a secondary power device. So on their bike, the trainer records power, but on their bike they need to have a secondary backup power device. And the best part about that is that at the end, should there have been any dropout issues, they still have a recording.
Yes. It's a shame they don't have a second heart rate monitor at the moment because Katie's is up the gurgler.
Up the gurgler. Well, here we go. We've got Dana Davidson is the rider that we're looking at, her biometrics there, her power, 125 watts. She's sitting on at the moment. And they do have MyWhoosh, the way it is set up, it's as close to racing on the road as you can feasibly get. And Sean, I mean, you work in technology, like you know how much goes into all of this. But what happens is when the avatars are out there, it's simulating what it's like to be either in the wind and to sit on the front, and the trainers will then increase or reduce the load. There's Dana Davidson.
She's cruising.
Yeah, she's cruising at this point. So they're a couple of kilometres into the 12-kilometre race.
Yep.
They will be going up some QOMs, KOMs, and earning points.
Yeah, the first sprint I think is in at the 3 kilometre mark. So we're about just under 2 Ks to the first sprint. First opportunity of points for this race. So I think that's why it's all bunched together still. I think we're going to see an attack from Brianna the way she started off the line with 10 watts per kilo. It wouldn't surprise me if she goes for the sprint first up.
And this is also a different race when there's only 5 in there.
Yes.
Because you can make a really big points gap when there's 10 riders in there being first to, front of bunch to back of bunch. But when there's only 5, it's less incidental.
Correct.
So it's a very different racing environment. And I do get the feeling from the way that they're racing that they are, they're not actually looking at each other.
No.
They're looking, and we can see that they're looking at the screens. And Tilly Field, she looks like she could be doing a magazine cover shoot with the fan in her hair, and she just looks so calm and in control, giving us a little hair flick there. Thank you, Tilly. Looking fantastic. And this is the point where they just have to establish how they're feeling, where they are in the race. And it is really important to keep their heart rate as controlled as possible, because we're coming up to a sprint. You can see the body language has changed.
Yep.
They're up and out of the seat.
They're out of the saddle. It's getting quite intense down there. Katie's putting on the pain face.
So we're coming up to that first sprint points. We'll get the results when they come through, but you can see Peter Antonello certainly hustling there to see if we can get these first points on the board.
We've got 200 metres to go there. They are charging. Who's going to get it, you reckon, Katie?
Well, Matilda is the one that has gone out first. And we saw that she was the first we saw to be out of the seat. Really that change in body language.
Yes.
It wouldn't surprise me if Tilly's tactics are to get out, get points, get ahead and get comfortable.
Well, it's a good tactic
regard.
to have. And if she's feeling good, I reckon that's a great tactic.
It's a bit of a test for their own legs too. So there's the leaderboard.
Yeah, so we got Tilly took the chocolates there, and Peter was a close second. And it's quite interesting. I thought the point spread was going to be a bit more than that, but 32 points, even though Katie got 32, the race is still anyone's to have.
Oh, absolutely. And so a reminder that the first is a sprint, the next points available are at a QOM, then there's another sprint, then a very big QOM.
Yes.
So this is our provisional standings after that first sprint. So sprint 1, checkpoint. The next will be a climb. That's where I expect Katie Banerjee to really come into her own.
They're quite sharp, short and sharp climbs. So I still think that could be anyone's sort of race there. It's when the big dog comes in at the back.
Yeah, the big dog. You can talk about a big dog as the chain ring.
Yeah.
Or the climb. Are you a climber yourself, Sean?
Absolutely not. I'm a flatland specialist.
Yes. Oh, look, you're in good company, me too. But I admire what the climbers can do. And this is the kind of course that you can, it's almost the kind of thing that like a Mark Cavendish could suffer over because they're short enough.
Yes.
This is the sort of thing where a Caleb Ewan was really scary.
Yes.
This sort of course. But it's brutal.
Yeah.
For the sprinters, they can get over it, but it is brutal, and it's an opportunity for riders like Katie Banerjee to just inflict the maximum amount of pain.
Use all that strength of hers to get over, and her watts per kilo as well. I think that's the climbs is where the watts per kilo really show themselves, and Katie's definitely got a few up her sleeve.
And that's a really good point. So talk us through what a threshold power means and why watts per kilo are so important.
So threshold power is your maximal power for the hour, but watts per kilo is that watts divided by your body weight. So the thing about esports, it's quite a open field, and you know what weight each rider is, and you can't really lie about it. We're coming up to the QOM now, and everyone's still looking pretty calm, but
there's some Peter Antonello's starting to rock and roll a bit with the shoulders. She's such a powerful sprinter.
Yeah.
I'd say the others would be wanting to get ahead of her before the criterium, the second one. Dana Davidson.
Katie's come into her own colours here. She has left the field behind.
And this is fantastic. And you can see that her watts per kg are actually lower than some of those behind because
she's got lower body weight.
Like it's just that simple. But it is a bit of a quirk of esports in normal cycling, let's just make it sound really boring by calling it normal. What is normal anyway? You don't often talk about the weight of riders. Like, it's almost a weird, awkward thing.
It
like,
is.
why would you?
Even with your friends, it's a weird, awkward thing.
Yeah, I don't know who's having conversations about their weight with their friends, but, you know, maybe get new friends. You talk about it here because it's so relevant.
Correct.
And they have to do weigh-ins. So before the final this evening, they all had to get on a pair of scales in full view and make sure that the weight they say they are is the weight that they are. It's not about body shaming, so don't arc up at us, people. It is very, very important, part of the integrity of the game.
Absolutely.
Because your avatar, and also, you know, hot tip for anybody just riding for fun, drop your weight in game and it'll make you go up the climbs faster.
Absolutely.
I may or may not have done that myself. But
can't get away with that here, though, Katie.
No. The integrity side of it is really important. So we're coming up to sprint number 2, but the 3rd checkpoint.
Okay. It's a battle to the end. It's Katie's again doing it's a carbon copy of what she did for the previous one. So I think she's got this one.
It's a bit of a misnomer to say that this is a sprint, not a QOM. Now, we will see on the next QOM that there is what I would call a giant hill.
Yes.
If you're from Queensland or you've been here before to Brisbane, it's a bit of a Mount Cootha-esque kind of climb, albeit a little bit shorter, but still that brutal toward the end. But as we can see, this is still going up nearly 12%. So you can see on the top right of screen, that percentage is how steep it is.
Correct. It's an absolutely brute of a climb.
And so the sprint is just over the top of it, but Katie Banerjee, quite smart, quite good strategy, is using the climb to really inflict a fair bit of pain.
Yes.
So that when they come down, she's got less competition in that sprint. She doesn't need to worry about the numbers.
Correct. We've got Dana dangling off the back a little bit. Hopefully she can regather and get back on, but we've got a bit of a breakaway off the front now with Tilly and Katie. I reckon I wouldn't surprise me if these two run away with it here, because they are our 1st and 2nd place from the qualifying event last week.
And here is where the different strategies come into play. For Dana Davidson, she needs to make a quick decision about whether it's even worth getting back on or not.
True.
Because
save some energy for
it
the
might
next
be
race.
worth her, because she might get back on but still end up 5th.
Yes.
In any kind of sprint. What she wants to make sure is she doesn't fall too far behind, because then it will really reduce the recovery time between the races. So that's an important consideration. But we're seeing it very much play out in 3 different little groups here. So our 2 arguably race favourites, Katie Banerjee and Matilda Field, inseparable.
Yes. This is going down to the wire between these two. Oh, I'm excited to see. So
I mean, you would think, just based on their physiology, that Katie Banerjee would be trying to ditch Tilly at this
Tilly's
point.
giving it her all right now.
Yeah. So we're about halfway through the race, 6 kilometres in to the 12 kilometres. Both of our races, race 1 and race 2, today are 12 kilometres.
Yep.
Different 12 kilometres.
Totally different. I think this 12 kilometres is going to be a bit slower than the next 12 kilometres.
Yeah, so, I mean, certainly if I was riding
Yes.
it would be. And also a note that whatever bikes they're on in-game or in real life, it doesn't really matter. It's all equalised, so there's no equipment advantage or disadvantage. 100 metres to go. They've gone pretty early. They've started this sprint quite a long way out.
I can feel the lactate building already. I reckon they'll be salivating lactate. But this is an impressive effort right here from Katie again. Watts per kilo comes down to it at the end of the day, doesn't it? And she's got that determination. She looks fierce.
I mean, I must say that Tilly Field is doing a pretty incredible job of not letting the gap open, and so still being in contention for each next sprint.
And the beauty is, if she just rolls in second for the next few sprints or QOMs, she's going to get 38 points. And that's not going to leave her that far behind going into the second race.
So we've had our second sprint now. We'll get results up when they come through just to check the aggregate points. I don't know how your maths is mathing at home. Some people like to keep a tally. Other people like it when we do that for you. But
Tilly's still leading the charge. So she could actually come in second. She could conserve now. Tilly can conserve for the rest of this race. And Katie, if Katie runs away with it, Tilly will finish on the same points as Katie. So now this is where the tactics will come into play. Like, how deep do you go in this race? And how much do you want the next race?
Well, that's right. And I mean, I think for anybody who's done any track cycling, that's what I used to love to do. And a points race, it's not about how much you can win each sprint by. It's like, how little can you win each sprint by? How efficient can you be and still get it done?
Yes.
And that's what they're thinking. But it's also, we've all experienced it, 300 metres till the next points opportunity, where you think, back off a little bit. But actually, when you try and move again, your legs are jelly.
Yes.
So there's that element as well. This is Brianna Samuel trying to bridge back up to
incredible
Banerjee and Field.
She's not far off. This could be a comeback of all ages.
So 10 seconds is what the clock is telling us, but what I am seeing is she can see them up there, so 10 seconds doesn't matter.
Yep.
Peter Antonello, where did you pop from? Well, what a delight that is.
She was getting a good draft just then off Dana.
And there is drafting in sports, so another checkpoint we've just seen there.
I think Tilly got that one, so Tilly's gone up another peg, and Katie, I think she'll be coming in second in the points now. So
there are our 5 riders. They're looking pretty comfortable, all of them. Like, they're under pressure, Sean.
Yeah.
But there's nobody that is. I mean, I don't know what you look like on the trainer when it gets really ugly, but I can tell you that it's not pretty.
It's not a pretty
sight.
Like
when you're really hurting and you are over the handlebars and throwing everything into it. Yeah, it's not particularly delightful, but none of the riders look like that.
Correct. And I think the hardest thing about jumping on an indoor trainer is heat management. Like, you are sweating all sorts. So this is going back to the QOM that we fought for before, but we see that Katie got that one still, and Tilly got that second checkpoint there, which I'm sure we'll get the aggregate points up soon for that.
I mean, what will hurt Katie at the moment is that she got 5th in that first sprint.
Yes.
So not second or third, but 5th. So a reminder, it's 40 points for the winner, 38 for second, 36 for third, 34 for fourth, 32 for 5th. So 8 points. Is the differential from the first person to cross the line versus the 5th. Because there's only 5 and because it is changing around, you might think 8 points isn't much. Actually, it can be.
Correct.
So they need to also keep an eye on that and what they're seeing in game. They are just seeing themselves racing. Yes, you can see a lot of other data, but Tilly actually spoke to this in her interview. Like, it's so transparent. You can see it all. It's been the experience of a lot of esport races that they've actually asked MyWhoosh to strip back some of the information on their screen because they don't want to see it. They just want to see the other rider and try and beat the other rider and race the other rider. They don't need to see all the numbers.
I don't know about you, Katie, but if ever I see my heart rate in a race, I don't want to know about it.
No, well, we legitimately used to race when we had SRM boxes on the front of our bikes with black tape over some of the numbers.
Yes.
Because we were like, we want to see the data at the end, but I don't want to know.
No.
I'm like, I don't need you to tell me what my heart rate is. I can feel it. Thank you very much.
Correct. Feel that heart beating out your chest and breathing
exactly
in every orifice you can.
That is. Yeah. It's. I mean, come on, people. We're not making it sound very romantic, but it is. It's beautiful, isn't it, Sean?
Oh, exactly. We do it for love.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it's a beautiful sport.
We've just crossed the 400-metre mark to the final of this big berg, so it's coming down to the wire. Tilly and Katie are still going toe to toe here,
and you can notice, like, some riders, you'll notice are out of the seat more,
yes,
and others just sit down and grind. There is a very specific way that people challenge the esports racing. Are you an out of your seat on the trainer kind of fella?
I'm very, very much in the saddle.
In the saddle,
because
yeah.
I just find the bike's too rigid on the trainer to get out of the saddle, and your body doesn't flow with the movement of the bike.
Well, here's a fun fact. At Esports World Championships last year on MyWhoosh in Abu Dhabi, the riders, some of the finalists, Tilly Field was one of them, were out of their seat, I would say 90% of the time.
Way.
And I got home and jumped on the trainer and tried to do it.
Did you almost crash?
Oh, I mean, I could do it, but your heart rate goes so high. Like anybody, jump on the trainer and give it a crack. See how long you can stay out of your seat for on the trainer before you just want to keel over. Like it's remarkable. They really are the most incredible athletes. And you can look at Katie Banerjee go. She's in the middle there.
Look at her cadence.
Out of the seat.
She's dropped her cadence a fair bit here.
And it's a different style.
It is.
Like low cadence. That's the best pickup. And you can see that number at the top on the right of all her numbers.
Yeah.
That's her cadence, 64.
She's doing a strengthy up this one.
Yeah. And if you are not a road rider and you don't know what a strengthy is, that's what they used to call it, strength endurance efforts, which is up a hill, big gear, low cadence, torture on a bike.
Absolute torture, but she can recover now because she's got a nice big downhill, and I think she's got 16 seconds on Tilly. So,
and this is, we did expect this to happen at some point in the race, and so it's good. And this is Katie Banerjee we're seeing now. She's gone through that points check, and you can see top right of screen is that little profile, and so then you can kind of see whether it's a KOM or whether they're going for a sprint. She's gone over the top of that, so now there's only one sprint left to go,
and that's the finish line.
Yeah, and she will be very happy and very relieved when she gets there.
Yes.
Now, interesting, Sean, because they've been racing for 19 minutes.
Yep.
I'm going to eat my own words here. Beforehand, I said 20 minutes. It's not going to take them 20 minutes to do the 12K.
Yeah.
Happy to eat my words.
Yeah.
This is a really tough course.
Very tough. They're definitely gone above our expectations. It's like, yes, 300 metres actually over 12 kilometres is rather large. And I guess that would slow the riders down. I've noticed that I think Tilly's playing a bit of a tactical card here and put the clutch in a little bit. So,
I mean, Tilly can afford to chill out now, actually.
Yeah.
And look, Katie can too.
They both can.
They can both kind of relax a little bit and back off. And that plays into a little bit of the race time as well, because in some circumstances, you're saying they should race a little bit faster than this. But actually, tactically, they don't need to.
Absolutely not. I'd be doing it.
They've just got to get there when they get there.
Correct.
And it's more about where they get there in relation to other people.
Exactly. But the gap between the end of this race and the next race is a lot shorter than they'd planned.
That's right. So it would have been 8 minutes if they finished at 20, right?
Yes.
So it's looking like it's going to be closer to
maybe
6 minutes,
even 5 minutes.
And then Dana is about a minute behind. So we're looking at Tilly. Katie Banerjee's 20 seconds in front. Dana is 50 seconds behind. So that's what we're looking at there.
Yeah.
So half a kilometre left to go for Tilly Field. 200 metres left to go.
She can take her hands off the bars now and think about a celebration she's going to have.
Well, she can't. I mean, you can't celebrate too much when you've only got a couple of minutes in, right?
Exactly.
So they're going, Katie Banerjee's going to have about 5.5 minutes. Whose idea was that?
Yeah. It's actually brutal.
We're laughing. We shouldn't laugh.
I'm glad it's them and not us.
It is. Look, what a show that they've put on. That has gone fairly to the plan that we imagined.
Correct. It was the Katie show.
It was the Katie show. Although, when we see the aggregate points at the end, it is interesting what 1/5 does.
It's pretty tight between, I reckon, 3 riders there. I reckon it's going to be a pretty tight field. So Katie's up. Congratulations. That's an incredible ride by her. Putting 24 seconds into the former national champion Tilly Field. I reckon Tilly's going to come out very determined.
Yep. So that is sensational. We say win from Katie Banerjee. I think that she will take the race win. From my calculations, she won 3 of the 5.
Yes.
But then was 5th and was 2nd in the other 2. We'll get the final points up when they come through, when they've been validated. But it looks certainly first over the line was Katie Banerjee. But, I mean, that's what we talked about at the beginning. It's actually about points.
Yeah.
It's not about first over the line,
yes.
but it is very helpful. So, they've finished. They've, in kind of different states.
Yeah.
Bree Samuel, she's all serious business.
It'll be interesting to see what they do between races here. A lot of them are keeping the legs rolling by the looks of it. So I'm sure they'll be having some gels and carbs in between these races.
So that was the scoreboard so far. Some of the riders still just rolling in from that first. We've got Kayla out in the cube. She talked us through the bike before. Kayla, how is it out there?
Yeah, guys, honestly, that was a great race to watch from here inside the cube. It was really interesting to watch the athletes' body language change throughout the race. They started off super cruisy, like it was the easiest day of their lives, and it wasn't until they hit that first steep incline that you saw them getting up and, a bit more change in the facial expressions, and you could tell they were exerting a little more energy. And then from about halfway onwards, we saw some towels coming in and being given to the athletes from their team just to mop up a bit of the sweat, because you could tell they were really putting the hard yards in at that time. But it was fascinating to watch, and a great potential win from Katie on that one. And I'm really excited to see how race 2 turns out. Obviously, we know the first race is good for short and steep inclines, and the second one is better for sort of those all-around tactical riders, and it's a little bit more flat. So it's anyone's game. Different type of race. So it'll be interesting to see how this one turns out.
Yeah,
back to you guys.
Hey, Kayla, I'm not going to let you go just yet. I've got one more question for you.
Yeah.
Were the riders looking at each other
Absolutely
when they were
not.
racing, or only on the screen?
Yep, they were locked in on that screen. I don't think I saw a single rider even have an eye off of that screen the entire ride. They were absolutely focused, and they knew what their goal was, and that's what they had their eye on.
Oh, unreal.
Sure.
Thank you, Kayla. That's super interesting. Because, Sean, I don't honestly think I could contain myself to just looking at the screen. Like, I feel like I would just have to kind of glance over each direction.
Play some mind games with fellow athletes.
Yeah. I mean, did you ever see Anna Mears when she lined up against Victoria Pendleton, and she gave her like this side eye? Like if looks could kill.
I can feel it.
You can feel it. I mean, there's none of that going on. Okay, so we've gotten through the Puncher's Paradise. Hills galore, if that's what you like. But next up, the criterium. Totally different vibes out there.
Yep, the Sprinter's Paradise, as they say. So I think Tilly might be a better chance here. She seems to have that kick in her. But Brianna, she impressed me. That start she did in the Puncher's Paradise, it was quite a fast start she had. So this is anyone's race, this one. And that's the best thing about the 2-race format.
And I think it's also interesting because so often we focus on the very front of the race, who's going for gold, but there's minor medals too.
Correct.
And especially when you're making your way through the sport, sometimes just making the podium, that is like, it's such an achievement. We're talking about a national championship here.
Correct.
It's not club racing.
Yeah.
Club racing is great too. So let's take a look at the rankings from the first.
So Tilly took the chocolates in that one, and Katie was a very close second to her with 190 points. But the interesting thing here is third and fourth, it's a dead heat here. Brianna and Peter Antonello, 176 points. And 176 points isn't that far behind for Katie and Matilda. But Dana Davidson, she struggled a little bit in that one, but you never know. Like, she could come back and she could get onto the podium for a national championship here.
Yeah, this is really interesting. I mean, I actually clearly, I'm an accountant. I probably shouldn't say that, because what I'm going to say next is I miscalculated the points there. But I thought that Katie had just gotten over the top of Tilly. But what that does show is the importance of, if you don't win, still not finishing 5th,
yes.
right? So that first sprint costs Katie a lot. That being said, the points are pretty tight, and you know who is going to come out in this? She's just been waiting, is Peter Antonello.
Yes.
Like, she's an
hungry.
Absolute weapon. She's such a powerful sprinter, and this is a real opportunity for her to get not just into 3rd, but maybe higher up on the podium, because if she can put a little bit of distance, if she's winning some sprints and can put a bit of distance to the others who are maybe rotating where they're finishing in the field, it's genuinely very open. And I must say I'm a little bit surprised by that. I asked you actually off air who your favourite was for this one. What did you say?
I did say Tilly.
You did.
Yeah.
And I'll give you credit for that, because we weren't on air, but if we had have been on air, I would have piped in and said, yeah, I think this is probably Katie's, like the first race, this is probably Katie's. And I think that just shows there are different strategies that go into this.
Correct.
It's not binary. You don't just go in with one. It's very much an if this, then that. You know, if I win the first sprint, what do I do in the second? And so on and so forth. If I come 5th, what do I do?
Exactly.
You've got to be fairly agile mentally as well. And Sean, that's actually quite an interesting element of it, is that we talk about the physicality of it, but you've got to be pretty mentally agile out there.
Absolutely. And here we see the course, the sprinter's paradise. 1.5 kilometres. We're peaking out at 17 metres of elevation for this, but throughout the lap we've got 26 metres of gain. So that's where the likes of Katie could come into her own. But it's gonna go back to a flat sort of finish. So here we go. The girls are about to start here.
And they're underway. We can see the change in body language. The rider's
Peter's out of the
seat.
Yeah.
Now, I've ridden this course quite a few times, and you can get a bit of momentum over those little lumps. But as you start to fatigue, they actually feel like climbs. They don't feel like a few hard pedals and you're there.
Yeah.
And so they've got 8 laps. It's 1.5 kilometres per lap. And Sean, there's the same points on the first 7, but then it is double points on the last. So 20 laps, 20 points a lap, which also means that there's 20 points for the winner and 16 for 5th. So that's not as big a differential as what we saw in the first one.
Yep.
But the final sprint,
huge difference.
That's double points.
Yeah, correct. It's that start there, Katie, was actually a lot steeper than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it is. Like it's deceiving, I think, the profile.
Yeah.
There are a few places on this circuit that you can hide.
Like right now, I reckon this is prime spot to recover from that and go from there. But it's been a good little start here. It's still all bunched together. They're all looking very comfortable, to be honest.
Well, this is definitely they're going to have to stay abreast of where their points are on this. So we're seeing them come into the first sprint now. So that's the start-finish gantry, that beautiful World Championship MyWhoosh gantry. Katie Banerjee is the one that has hit out early and hard to try and take these points.
She's hungry.
She is hungry. So let's see where that did settle. It looks like, did maybe Brianna Samuel get over the top? We'll get those results in. When it is a quick sprint like that, sometimes we have to wait until that final ranking comes through to be able to finish it off. I just noticed how cool in-game there's AusCycling flags.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And Brisbane and Jet Black.
Yeah.
Brisbane Cycling Festival. Look at these.
It's all for the Brisbane Cycling Festival this week. And we've got Tour de Brisbane on Sunday, Katie.
Wait, are you riding the Tour de Brisbane?
I am doing the Tour de Brisbane, so it'll be a good little event to...
Good little day out.
Yeah, correct. Here we go. I think this is the first sprint here. So we got Matilda.
Ooh.
She has gone out and grabbed it.
Okay,
the interesting thing here is I think I saw Katie crossing 4th. So
I I think they may have sprinted for that World Championship gantry.
Yes.
Thinking that perhaps there's one of two things. They either thought that perhaps that was the finish, or Katie Banerjee thought this is a tiny little lump.
Yeah,
Can I
get a gap?
Can I get a gap?
Yeah.
Incidentally, it looks like she hasn't, because that start finish is, and you can see on the map actually in the top right, the orange arch is that finish arch.
Yeah, that's our. Yes, and we've got our elevation profile there, and we can see we're going downhill right now. It's not a very steep downhill, but to be honest, on the graphic, it looks rather fast.
It feels it, yeah, riding around. I mean, I must say, I think I rode this course for about an hour or a little bit over.
That's a few circles.
Yeah, well, we were testing the machines ahead of World Championships.
Oh,
so
right.
I'd call myself a volunteer in that circumstance. We had a load of us on all of the bikes.
So was this course in the World Champs last year?
Oh, well, no, this was just the test course.
Oh, okay.
So we were just using this to test all of the machines. And by the end of the hour, I was like looking around, like, are you done? Can I get off yet?
An hour on the train is quite a long time.
Yeah, especially on this course.
Yeah.
Peter Antonello, you can see in the body language, this is her specialty.
Yeah.
She has got a lot to gain from where she was on equal third points.
Correct.
But she has a real opportunity to edge toward that gold medal if she plays this right. And we can see that she is certainly putting...
deep here.
Yeah, she really is. She's a couple of seconds adrift of Katie and Matilda.
Yep.
Now, they went ahead actually over that little lump.
Yes,
not at
correct.
the points. So it
Correct.
is a danger point.
It is, and we're going to cross the finish line again. So Katie really needs to get the points here over Tilly, because if she doesn't, then that's really going to put her on the back foot for getting that green and gold jersey at the end of the day.
And we have to remember that is what they are racing for here. National champion green and gold. So here is the sprint. Tilly Field
Tilly got it again.
Maximum points. Katie Banerjee is in second. As it's playing out, Tilly is really cementing that gold medal. Peter has the big opportunity here. Can she actually edge her way into second? I mean, it's not over. There's a lot of sprints left. We're 2 into 8. Double points on the final. It can absolutely come down to that final sprint.
Correct. And like if Brianna and Peter catch up to Katie and Tilly, it's anyone's game, but at the moment it's another 2-horse race with about 3 or 4 seconds between Brianna and Peter there.
I mean, this is where Katie in particular, she needs to make sure that Brianna and Peter don't get back anywhere near her.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
So Tilly, she's got both options. She can kind of chill out and go, oh, well, I'll go with Katie if she goes, but if she doesn't, that's fine too. She doesn't need to push the pace.
Yeah.
So you are seeing a little bit of yo-yoing of that gap.
Yes.
So Brianna Samuel is about to come back. We should see her jump back into shot soon because she's back in.
You can see Katie absolutely putting the hammer down, but Tilly just always manages to get on. She doesn't react straight away, but eventually she catches on. And like that's where looking at your competitors in a live format like this would really come into.
Oh, you reckon they should look around more?
I reckon they should. I think Tilly should be looking at Katie a bit more and being like, oh, is Katie getting out of the saddle, ripping that low cadence effort again?
My only issue is that Tilly just looks like she's just cruising around.
Yeah.
You know, like the between the outfit and the ponytail and the fan, like she really looks like she's on a fitness shoot somewhere.
Look at this. We've got 3 riders now. Brianna's joined the pack.
So, remembering that Brie was sitting in equal third.
Yes.
So it is an opportunity for her to potentially jump into the silver medal. She's looking at Katie Banerjee to jump in front of. She's looking at Peter Antonello to stay in front of.
Yeah.
So she's...
look at this. Matilda. She is incredible.
She really is having a dominating ride, isn't she?
She's had 3 from 3 so far.
Oh, I love that Brisbane Cycling Festival gantry that they go under. That is so cool. I'm sorry, I'm very enamoured with the graphics.
It's the minor details.
In MyWhoosh, it really is the minor details. The first world that was ever in MyWhoosh is Parramatta Park.
Oh, yes.
So I'm from Western Sydney. That speaks to my heart. It's where I grew up, riding around Parramatta Park. And it was like this wonderful walk down memory lane. That's a course I could ride around all day if I had to do lots of time on the trainer.
Your Parramatta Park is mine under by the sounds of it.
It is, yeah, I think so. And look, for anybody into NRL, yes, I'm a Parramatta Eels fan.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It is. Look, regardless, I think it shows strength of character that I still am Parramatta.
Resilient.
Yeah, it does, especially now that I live in Brisbane. So this is our top 3 that we're looking at. Brianna Samuel, Matilda Field and Katie Banerjee. Peter Antonello is not too far off.
Yeah,
she is working hard to try and rejoin.
Look at Brianna. She
3.
is locked in. She's feisty.
Yeah, and I think that she has a real opportunity here. I'm interested. We'll have to ask them after the race in some post-race interviews. So there's lap 3. That's not telling us anything we didn't see on screen. Matilda Field, Katie Banerjee, Brianna Samuel, Peter Antonello, then down to Dana Davidson for those. Again, they're only 20 points, not 40 like we saw in the last. But that was only sprint 3.
Yeah,
They've got 8 laps.
This is actually a bit tougher than I thought it was going to be. It's dragging out. The riders are suffering a little bit.
Well, because there's a sprint every 1.5 kilometres.
Yeah.
You don't, when you're looking at a sprint, whether it be in a criterium, whether it be, out on the road, you break it down into kind of segments. You're not going to sprint for 1.5 kilometres.
Absolutely not.
But you also, imagine you're riding a criterium and you're sprinting every single lap.
Correct.
That's a lot.
It is. It's a funny one though. There's so many different tactics which can be played here. A tactic that I love to play is the breakaway specialist. Just put laps on people. But we're seeing Tilly. Oh, it's a tight battle here between Katie and Tilly. Is Tilly starting to fatigue a little bit? She hasn't dominated this one as much as the previous 3, but she got it.
Yeah, and we'll get up aggregate points when we can, but Tilly Field came into this in gold medal position.
Yes.
And so far she has dominated the sprint. So she has only increased her lead there.
Yes.
But ever vigilant because they're 4 sprints into 8, double points on that final sprint. So she can't afford to sit up and drop to 5th.
Correct.
And ride it in. She absolutely cannot.
Absolutely not. Just with those the double points on the end, it's anyone's game still. But if my maths is correct, I think the aggregate is showing maybe how many laps through are they? Are they 4 or 5 laps through? I think they're 4 laps through. So that is 80 points for Tilly.
Yeah, so they've gone through the 4th sprint. They're 6.5 kilometres into the 12.
Just over the halfway mark.
And so depending on what ticker you ever look at, and there are the results from lap 4, what you'll see when the game screen comes back is up the top, that's how far they've gone. Down the bottom, when there's graphics showing there, that's how far they've got to go. But at the moment, we're seeing how far they have gone, that's 6.7. And I clarify that because sometimes things count down, sometimes things count up.
Correct.
And if you don't quite know what you're looking at, so there we go.
Especially at this halfway mark, you're like, are we 6.8k to go or 6?
Yeah, the riders are like, what?
Yeah.
That's when you start looking around like, do they look desperate?
Yes.
What's going on here?
They're on the good side of the 6Ks now, and we're just ticking over 5Ks to go now. So, well, that's going to leave us. They're coming into the 5th sprint. So they've got go down this hill.
4 more sprints to go.
Yep.
The final of which is double points. And there are our riders.
That's our gold and
Katie
silver
Banerjee on the left, Tilly Field on the right. Yep, they came into this in gold and silver.
Yep.
We haven't really counted in Brianna Samuel in terms of how many points she may have made up.
No, but I reckon this is fantastic for Brianna because this is going to cement potentially a bronze medal for her.
And this is, so here they come through this beautiful...
And Tilly's done it again.
Brisbane Cycling Festival gantry. Well done to the graphics team. So Tilly takes maximum points ahead of Katie Banerjee and Brianna Samuel. It's Peter Antonello is the fastest sprinter out there, but that's what's really tough when you're in a race like this and you do get isolated. There's not a lot of wheels when there's only 5 riders.
Correct.
So they, in fact, Katie Banerjee did the right thing for her by really making sure that she was only sprinting amongst 3, because you can't drop to 5th in points if you're only sprinting with a group of 3.
So true.
But tough for Peter Antonello, because she almost came in with a target on her back because they knew she was such a good sprinter. That's where you can't just look at physiology and think, well, this is what I would do. It's all of the different potential outcomes that you can have.
Correct. It's anyone's race.
So 8 kilometres into a 12-kilometre race. We are in race number 2 of a 2-race AusCycling Esports National Championship final. After this, we will have a new 2026 AusCycling National Champion, and we'll have a full podium.
We'll have a full podium, and the podium potentials today all competed last year in the Nationals last year. So Brianna's had a massive surge in performance. Last year she came in 7th in the National Champs last year. So to get on the podium, which is looking likely for her right now.
Yeah, it's been unreal watching the riders really develop and grow into the sport. She was super aggressive, Bree Samuel, in the 2024 edition. Like really obvious that she was really hungry for it and still kind of catching up physiologically. But it's wonderful to see her back and still with that same quite aggressive racing style. We love that. So there we just saw the point screen again. Just more confirmation that Tilly Field can get each lap more comfortable.
Correct.
But to reiterate, because of the points differential, she can't just sit up toward the end and post it.
Absolutely not. She's got to take this to the line, and I think she'll be hungry to take this to the line. And here we go again. Tilly again. They actually did that lap very quick. That came around rather fast.
Yeah, they have started to increase their speed. Now, I just want to make a very quick shout out to someone who will not be watching but might watch the highlights, and that's Jordan Hassett, who's actually getting married at the moment. So happy wedding day, Jordan. How do I know that,
yes,
Sean,
tell
you
me
might
more.
ask? I don't know, Jordan. Hope you look magnificent. Is because Tilly was meant to be at the wedding.
You're joking.
So she just wanted them to know that, you know, she loves them very much, and it shows her dedication to this sport to be here because that's what she's foregoing. So
at the moment, it looks like it was all worth missing that wedding and the few free wines that are on offer.
When Tilly said in her interview that she felt like there was expectation on her shoulders, I think that probably some of that. Like, that's a big call.
It is a big call.
It is a big call. Weddings, hopefully don't come around too often.
Yes.
For your friends. I mean, per person is what I mean. And so it's wonderful that she's, so committed to the sport and doing such a wonderful job as well. Dana Davidson is who we are looking at. She has been a wonderful competitor in esports, and domestically, she's also an incredible rider on the national level on the road as well. So she's quite adaptable, and it's been fantastic to see her support. Look at Brianna Samuel. Look at that body language.
She is digging so deep.
She is absolutely throwing the kitchen sink at this. And you can see her avatar moving up for it too.
Yeah, look at her go. This is incredible. She looks like she's hurting, but to me, her legs don't look that fatigued. So she might have a little bit in the tank for this final sprint.
Oh, how delightful to get to this point in the race and the legs not be too fatigued.
Yeah.
Now, and there's Katie Banerjee. She came in silver position. There's 2 kilometres left to race. So 2 more sprints. It's a 1.5 kilometre lap. The final sprint is double points. There is our incumbent leader, Tilly Field.
Yeah.
And the wonderful thing about esports is you could say, short of a flat tyre or a race incident, she's good.
Correct.
There won't be any flat tyres. There won't be any crashes.
There's no mechanicals. There's no crashes.
Let me touch wood as I say that.
Correct.
So this is the penultimate sprint in the Australian Championships esport this year.
She's going 7 for 7 here. Can she get the final one after this? This is incredible. Brianna just pipped Katie on the line there as well. So,
well, interestingly, unless Brianna is doing the maths out there,
which she may well be.
Look, she may well be.
Yeah.
But she will know even loosely that she's racing for a silver or bronze. So either way, you know, go your good thing.
Yeah.
And at the end, she might be a bit like, what? Where did I finish? Somebody tell me.
Correct.
But she is racing as though she's got big places to jump. She came in third, but she was actually tied with Peter Antonello. Peter Antonello is an exceptionally good sprinter.
Yes.
So it's also possible that Brie, who's a very good gravel rider, came in thinking, good golly, Miss Molly, I need to ditch Peter.
Yes.
Or I'm in real strife.
Well, she's done a good job at it because she's put a minute into Peter.
Yeah, she has. It's been a fantastic ride by these three. I don't think we can adequately describe how dominant Matilda Field has been in this final race, which has been exceptional. I genuinely don't think she expected to come into race 2 already in the gold medal position.
No.
So she's done a tremendous job there, and we can see this is it. This is the final. This is where the riders are throwing everything at it.
Correct.
Do you notice Tilly Field in the orange shorts? She looks pretty chilled.
She looks pretty
She
chilled.
actually looks pretty chilled.
But just doing that climb before, Katie absolutely put the whoop bombs down. But it's going to be a sprint between the three of them, potentially. And I think I can tell you who's going to win that sprint if the previous 7 sprints are anything to go by. And I think it might be Tilly.
Well, 500 metres left to go, and we will have a 2026 AusCycling Esports National Champion. It's very exciting. The green and gold jersey on the line now. Tilly Field won last year, but she was in Mallorca and had to dial in on FaceTime.
I can't think of worse places to dial in from.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make it sound too tough, does it? Here is the final sprint, shoulder to shoulder. Field and Samuel. Field pulls ahead. Samuel throwing everything into this final sprint.
Brianna left it all out on the line. Congratulations to Tilly. I think that is a unreal race by her. Absolute class from the start.
And look at the smiles, the satisfaction, and you have our 3 medalists there. Tilly Field.
What a picture.
Katie Banerjee. And then Brianna Samuel. Dana Davidson on the left. She's just pedaling it in. They're so supportive of each other. It's fantastic. So there is the sprint points for the 7th sprint. We will get that confirmation at the end. But it looked as though, to me, Katie Banerjee was congratulating Brianna Samuel and sort of saying, you got me, like I threw everything at it and I couldn't answer.
Geez, I don't know. I think Katie might just pip Brianna for the silver medal, but we'll soon see when.
We need to ask them, were they counting?
Oh, you've got to be.
You know, because, but it's interesting. You see it on the track all the time. The riders looking at the scoreboard. Yeah. The scoreboard's wrong. And then at the end of the race, they're like, but the scoreboard was wrong.
Ah, yes.
And I've actually had this debate with my co-commentator on the track, Scott McGrory, before.
Ah, yes.
And he says, well, the scoreboard should be reliable. I say, no, it's your responsibility to count.
Whilst you're at threshold.
Yeah. So do you think the riders will have been all over their point situation?
I think a clever lady like Katie, she definitely would be. So
I mean, she literally works in paediatric brain injury scenario. So we are going to go down to the queue with the winner soon. They're just lining that up. There's a little bit of grace. Like you say, let's talk to the winner as soon as we can. But
they're still catching their breath.
I mean, the winner needs the heart rate to drop low enough that they can actually talk. There's that.
Put 2 words together.
Yeah. So what was your highlight from that?
It's got to be Tilly. Absolute domination from the start, getting every sprint and the double points on the line. You can't go past it.
Yeah, I mean, that was sensational. And I must say that in years previous, even when she's won, it hasn't been as dominant and as clean.
Yeah.
So it's been like an enormous privilege to watch her really grow through the sport and improve. And strategically, she's very smart as well. She's been figuring that out. We will get to the women's winner, to Tilly Field, in a moment when we can, and we'll get those final results through. But we're not far off the men's race starting.
Two minutes away. That is a quick turnaround.
So the men's race is the exact same format. Here are our athletes now. We'll talk through the athletes. We might do that now, and then we'll see if we can get the winners interview before the men start, if we're lucky. Now, we've got 5 riders. A couple of them are new to this level, but we've got a couple returning. Josh Harris
we've just got
one.
The total points coming,
And we'll get those total results to you very soon. And there it is. Holy moly. Look at the gap between second and third.
That is not much.
Matilda Field takes the gold with 180 points. Katie Banerjee takes the silver with 167. Brianna Samuel takes the bronze with 165.
That is so close. Does not get closer.
No. And I mean, quite literally, Brianna Samuel would have gotten the silver had she have won that sprint and Katie gotten third. Like, that's how close it is.
It's incredible.
That was, what an incredible race. Boy, oh boy.
So good to see, but I think
I
think we're not far off the men's race.
So we're only about a minute off the men's race.
Yep.
So we will talk you through the riders as they're underway for the quick turnaround there. But there is our results from the women. So here are our 5 male athletes. We've got Connor Vickers, Mitchell Stewart, Josh Harris, who was our champion last year. But Cal, you have our winner, Tilly Field. Wow.
And I'm glad to announce that you are the champion for our 2026 AusCycling Esports. What does this win mean for you?
It's really cool. I think I invest a lot of my life and my energy into esports. That's something that I want to grow. So yeah, to win it just gives me another year of promoting and being an ambassador for the sport. So it's really cool.
You did such a great job today. And back to the studio. We are happy to see you win today. Congrats again.
Oh, thank you, Cal. And gee, what an incredible ride by Tilly Field. Some of the fellas will be watching that as well. Now, the men are getting underway. And so here they are. We're looking...
We're out the gate already, Mark.
Mark Gates. Now, Mark is a plumber from Launceston, Tasmania.
Is he really?
He certainly is. Very handy on a bike. Now, he's got a very strong frame. The last time he actually got into... So he's in second there with the green sleeves on.
Yep.
To his left is Josh Harris. Now, Josh was the champion last year. He went on to qualify for the Esports World Championships in person in Abu Dhabi, and he rode like an absolute champion. It was, I was trying very hard when I was working on the broadcast over there to not be biased. That was very difficult when Josh Harris is racing. He's an absolute cracker. Now, they're both out of Launceston. And actually...
What's in the water down there?
I know. Mark got into racing, esports racing, because of Josh.
Did he really?
Yeah, and a couple of years ago we also
mates.
had Josh Wilson, who was also from there, and the 3 of them were the podium. It was pretty impressive. Jude Dodd is who we're looking at there. And he's new to the finals at this level. Look at Mark Gates just sitting up. It's a reminder that when they're going downhill in game, you cannot pedal. You can also do that. So it's very real to life. Some people think when you get on the trainer, especially in a race scenario, that you don't get to freewheel.
Yep.
There's not a moment that you get to actually stop putting the power down, but that's actually not correct. So there's Josh Harris.
Geez, he's looking lean, isn't he?
Yeah, arguably the favourite. Now, he's a very good climber, but he was a runner, very good runner. Famously once held the world record for the beer mile. Do you know what the beer mile is?
Oh, it sounds like a mile I want to do.
Run 400 yards, scull a beer.
No way.
Rinse and repeat. Yeah, and so he held the world record for it.
Jeez, that's impressive.
It's impressive, isn't it? Mitchell Stewart is our next
He's a
finalist.
local Brisbane lad?
He is. We were looking at headshots, and he had a fantastic moustache. I said, fantastic moustache. He said, it's gone.
Yeah. I was talking to Mitchell before, and he does 80% of his training indoors, he said, in the beautiful climate of Brisbane. So
yes, well, he's got his wife and children here cheering on, which is fantastic. And Connor Vickers, now he was a late inclusion into the final because Lyndon Milostic decided to do the Oceania Road race.
Yes.
Your loss, Lyndon. We are missing you, but what a thrill it is to have Connor Vickers here.
Yeah, he's come all the way up from Mount Beauty at last minute, which is, it was a bit of a mission for him to get up here, he said. So.
And Mount Beauty, is what I'm hearing.
Yes. And Mount Beauty is very close to Hotham and Falls, and he's ridden those climbs quite a fair bit, but I think we're coming close to our sprint here. We're 400 metres away, and Mark has gone for the early burner here to get some early points. And it looks like if he can hold this pace, he might get this. Jude's looking very comfortable as well, by the way.
Jude's from Hawthorn Cycling Club. To understand frames, he's 180 centimetres tall. His threshold power is 320 watts. So for any of you trainer warriors, see what you can do there. Now, can you see the difference between what we were seeing in the women's race compared to now?
Yeah.
Because all I'm seeing is very few bottoms on seats.
Yes.
And there's Mark Gates.
Mark put out a very impressive watts per kilo for a solid 30 seconds there.
Yeah, he's really improving very rapidly, and he's quite exciting to watch racing because I think sometimes he surprises himself. But he's certainly very explosive. This is exactly the same as what we saw in the women's race. So a bit of a recap there. This is 12 kilometres. We've travelled 3 so far. That number up the top is how far they've gone. If in the top right of screen, you can see the percentage of incline that they are on, or decline, should it be that. There is equal amounts of both in this course. It's called the Punchers Playground. There's 4 segments along the way to score points, 40, 38, 36, 34 and 32 as we see there. So Gates strong out of the gate, followed by Stewart, Josh Harris, Jude Dodd and Connor Vickers. Josh Harris would have been very wary to not drop into 5th.
Correct.
In that one.
Because that's sort of what ruined Katie in the previous race in the females.
That hurt.
Yeah.
And so there's no double points in this. There's just the same 40 for the winner across all 5 of the finishers. Now that was the first sprint. The next one is a KOM.
Yep.
And then it is a flatter sprint and then a very big KOM. But what we saw in the women was a lot of the opportunity actually came in between on those pinch points.
Yes.
So that by the time they got to the sprint, they weren't in very big groups at all. Connor Vickers, we expect, just given the fact that he comes from Mount Beauty, we expect him to really enjoy the upcoming KOM segments.
He's even got his sunnies on his head to
yeah, he's looking cool.
For the sun that's outside here in
it's
beautiful
a cool
Queensland.
Sport. It is a cool sport.
Yeah.
Like, in every discipline across cycling, it's very different personalities, right? Like, if you put a BMX rider, a mountain biker, a gravel rider, a road rider, a track rider, and an esports rider all together, you'd barely believe they fall under the same umbrella.
Yeah, correct.
Same disciplines, very different personalities. But I would say that esports riders, they've got a little bit of BMX swagger about them.
They do, actually.
Oh, they're quite cool.
They are cool. They've all got their different styles too. We see Josh with the sleeveless jersey. So
Josh rides out of his saddle a lot more than some of the others, and that is the emerging international style. And once riders start doing it, when there's a couple who can, and that's what's happened, a couple worked really hard on racing predominantly out of the saddle, and the others had to then catch up because you can put out a lot more power out of the saddle. It's just that you have to somehow control your heart rate.
And that's the biggest thing. And also the heat. The heat's the biggest thing for me. And I guess getting out of the saddle, your body's cooling down a little bit more potentially as well. So
and you can see in Josh's style, and he's changed style since he first started racing esports, I might add. You can see that he's using almost a little bit of momentum to dance up and down on those pedals in a way that you couldn't when you were also responsible for the direction of the bike.
Yes.
So it is something that is very specialist, and Josh Harris showing us beautifully
It truly is. He looks quite comfortable, to be honest. I did notice he's put almost 30 seconds on the peloton here.
So this is where Josh needs to mitigate, and we'll see that race vision come back up in a second. It's great to see the differences in body language between these riders. But this is an opportunity for Josh Harris to get that break that Katie Banerjee tried and couldn't.
Yes.
Because if he can then cruise it in.
Absolutely.
A little bit if he's got that break out the front. And he does 50.
That is huge.
Nearly a minute.
That is huge. That's a minute of recovery over his competitors if he can take this to the line.
That's it. So it's not just that he will get the points moving forward.
Yeah.
It's that he gets extra recovery. Now, if you check out what is happening with Josh Harris, look at his watts per kg.
Yep.
Right? Look at the watts per kg for the three behind.
They are all cruising downhill.
They're all cruising downhill. Now, that gap has come down somewhat.
Yes.
But the race intention is clearly very different. What do we notice about Josh Harris?
Out of the saddle again.
Still out of the saddle.
He's not going to get a saddle sore there, is he?
I urge you to try it.
Okay.
The first time I tried it, and I was fresh off a plane from the UAE, 12 minutes I lasted, and it was the grossest 12 minutes of my life. And I was not trying to go hard for 12 minutes, I might add. I was just like, how long can I ride out of my seat on the trainer at a decent power? Not a good power, just, how long can I even handle it with my body? 12 minutes.
Look, I'm going to take your word on that, and I'm not going to try.
No, you're going to try.
Here we go. Josh is just about across the KOM line with a huge lead. The watts per kilo he was doing up that, incredible. And look at his cadence, 60 cadence.
So big gears, right? It becomes a very different power profile and output. And what you can also notice is he's out of the seat, but if you cast your eye over to the elevation, he's actually going 10% downhill and still out of the seat. Now contrast that with Mark Gates earlier, who was just
free spinning.
But Mark Gates, we're watching him now. He goes from free spinning to 700 watts. So he's just gone through, just hot on the heels of Mitchell Stewart. But they have just opened a little gap to Dodd and Vickers.
Yes.
So 4 becomes 2.
Yep.
And this is similar to what we saw in the women's in the formation of the groups.
Correct.
And they're just past the halfway mark, so 6.5 kilometres into 12.
And in a game, like, you may not think riding in a peloton or a bunch will have much effect, but it definitely plays an effect in this. And at the moment, seeing Josh is off the front solo, he's pushing more wind than what is Mitch and Mark are, and they could potentially catch Josh if he just blows a gasket in the end.
It blows a gasket. Now, we need to look really carefully next time Josh Harris's avatar comes up, because I'm pretty sure he's got a beanie on.
Does he really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, look at it. I think it's a yellow beanie.
Is that does that meet the Australian standards for helmet safety there? I don't know.
That is very funny. I mean, I personally always put a helmet on in game, and I don't know why. I'm just very compliant.
Yes. And observant.
That is very funny. So Josh Harris still out of the seat, still just really putting in those big watts. Connor Vickers is who we're watching now. Now, he has dropped just a little bit back, but he can see the others in front of him.
He can.
And what is coming up for him is the big KOM.
Yes.
So Connor Vickers will be looking forward to that. So these are our points at the Climb 1 checkpoint.
So exact same makeup of the previous at the sprint. So Mitchell Stewart is actually... he's a hot favourite at the moment. He's sitting in silver with the aggregate as well. So.
Yeah, he's consistent, right? Because Josh was third in the first, Mark was first. They've flipped it all around. Mitchell Stewart is, king of consistency there.
He is.
That goes a long way. So 300 metres to go. This also shows a little bit of psychological warfare here. 300 to go, and they're essentially playing cat and mouse.
They are. And look at this. Judas caught on to Mitch and Mark here. And he's ripping away.
Jude is not waiting.
He's not. I'm actually impressed that Jude could get back to Mitchell and Mark here. Oh, they're coming in fast, so. Oh, Look at the watts per kilo Mitch and Mark were doing there. They were pretty well toe for toe there, 11.8 watts per kilo each.
That is some serious power. So Josh Harris, look, he's well ahead, but it is, and this plays into Josh Harris's favour too. We're seeing some real sharing of the points between Stuart, Gates and Dodd, which puts the three of them there and thereabouts for the next coloured medal. But that plays into Josh's favour in terms of consistently opening that gap. If there's nobody that's consistently getting second behind him.
The beauty as well for Josh is these guys are fighting it out now. So they're battling. Whereas Josh, he can just cruise at a nice tempo now, roll it into the finish line. So potentially Josh could cross the line less fatigued than these two because they'll be doing high normalised.
And MyWhoosh is a wonderful platform to race on. A lot of these guys do a wonderful event each week called the Sunday Race Club.
Ooh, I've heard about this.
Yeah, there's some great prize money on offer. I've been urging you to get involved. I said, Sean, get amongst it.
I could make a full-time job out of this.
Well, especially since you don't love the climb so much. Like, it's a great club and platform and race for essentially the in-betweeners.
Yes.
You know, it provides a lot of opportunity. So this is our second sprint checkpoint, our third points though.
Yeah, and how about Jude? Getting the silver there. Like, that's a good comeback for him.
Well, and the first time we've seen a 4 in front of Mitchell Stewart. He's been second in all, but again, the consistency.
Yeah.
So we've done really well. Josh Harris has done really well.
Yes.
In getting into that kind of commanding lead. Still out of the seat.
Still out of the seat.
I feel like you thought I was kind of making that up until you're like witnessing it.
I feel like he could just take his saddle off the bike at this point.
Oh, well, that would be a whole different event.
Wouldn't it just?
I think Mark Gates is in a really good position for the final sprint, but there has been some serious gaps opening up because if you can see, and that's Josh Harris on the right of screen, Jude Dodd on the left of screen. Yep. Jude has his family here, so that's wonderful. Nice.
Yep. Mitchell has put a gap on the peloton here.
Look, he's got his wife and 2 kids here, and I wonder if they're screaming super loud. Like, how motivating would that be for him?
Like, just seeing your kids cheering for you.
Yeah, that's unreal. He's pretty new to esport, but he was bloody good at it, if you ask me.
I've raced Mitchell quite a bit in the local scene here, and he's always been competitive. So,
are you kind of like bummed when he turns up because you're like, man.
It's going to be a little bit harder today.
So 100 metres until the next checkpoint. It's the second last checkpoint. This is the big KOM out on there. This is Josh Harris in his yellow beanie that we're looking at.
Can't miss it.
You can't miss him. Mark Gates is on left of screen. He is powering up, trying to catch up to Mitchell Stewart, who is in second place. So Harris comfortable at the front. He also just needs to do enough to keep getting the points and to keep his legs warm. Like, that's kind of what he needs to do at this point.
He's on the home stretch now. He's gone over the com. It's all easy from here. It's all downhill. He's got 1.5K to go. Oh, just 1.5K to go, and it'll be nice and cruisy.
And so we're watching. It's Josh Harris on the left in person, but in game we've got Mark Gates. Now he's sitting in third on the road. But he's starting to make a little bit of time up on Mitch Stewart. And you look at the body language, like, he is working hard up this KOM to get there. This is Mitch Stewart. He's coming into the final 100 metres of this quite grueling KOM, up over 11-12% for most of it. So that's pretty rough.
Sounds painful.
That seemed like a long 100 metres.
It does.
When it's at that.
Yep.
Steepness. So there's Josh Harris on the left.
He's sitting down for a change.
He's turned on the afterburners. He's got 2.5K left to go. 1.5K left to go. Sorry, Mitchell Stewart has 2.5. He's a full kilometre in front.
That's incredible.
So very solid job by Josh Harris. He's just making sure that he can fortify himself for that final race. So he's done a sensational job there. Now cast your eye onto the little timing screen between Mitch Stewart and Mark Gates. Mark Gates, and there's Mitch Stewart. He is working hard. Mark Gates is closing that gap a little.
Yep.
But it's yo-yoing.
It's yo-yoing. And, geez, it's so hard to, like, in Mark's situation, do you push hard on the downhill? Will that give him much of an advantage? I don't know. Like, I don't think so, to be honest, because he put the clutch in there and he was free spinning there for a little bit. But it looks like Mitch is going to get second here. He's got 40 seconds on Mark, so that's good for Mitchy boy. I'm stoked for him. So
Mitchy boy, I love that.
Yeah.
I love the good nickname. So Vickers and Gates are now together. So that kind of changes the scenario as well for Mitch Stewart.
Yes.
Because for Stewart, this now gives him a buffer. Because if Gates ends up in 4th, not in 3rd in this next one. Also worth noting that Connor Vickers has really climbed into this race, hasn't he?
He has. He really came into his own up that big climb that we just went through.
2 big hippopotamuses.
Where
Hippopotami.
You don't see them in Brisbane.
No, I mean, maybe at Australia Zoo.
Yes.
It's not too far away.
Just an hour's drive away. But here we go. Congratulations to Joshy. He's about to cross the finish line here. The fans are waving their flags.
Yeah, it sends a big smile from Josh Harris as he takes a commanding lead heading into the second race of the AusCycling Esports National Championships. He's represented Australia at the World Championships in the final of this very event, and he's just shown why he's ranked our best esports rider. Look at him, straight off the bike.
Straight off.
Well, that's a mental game. Maybe he needs to duck off to the bathroom.
Maybe.
Mark Gates is like, where are you going, mate?
Yeah, you didn't tell me this tactic.
These 4 riders still yet to finish. The last time we saw it was Mitchell Stewart, who is second from the right, and he was coming in second.
Correct.
And then it was back to Mark Gates.
Yep.
And then Connor Vickers had actually climbed his way up into 4th as well.
It's going to be a good battle between Mark and Connor for the finish here. Who will get the more points over the other, and how will that play at the end?
So we've got one of our wonderful students, Mark. He's in the cube. Mark, what's the vibe like in there?
Hey, Katie. Well, the vibe here in the cube is amazing. You heard earlier, just before the races started, you could hear the energy from the crowd, full on cheering for everyone. In terms of the races, we can see that there's a lot of strategy and tactic that goes into the races. We saw that although it is intense and it is very physical, there are parts in the race where some of them are resting and recovering just to take them over that final sprint or climb. Otherwise, vibes are really good here at the Cube.
Unreal, Mark. Thank you so much. It sounds like it is in there, like just wild, an absolutely wild show.
Well, looking from where we are here, I can't see much spare space in there, to be honest.
No, I mean, from where we are, to paint the picture for you, there's then a frosted window, but it's half frosted, so we can actually see lots of legs.
Yes.
So we can tell you there's lots of legs and lots of bums on seats in there. Now let's take a look at the rider profiles. We didn't get to do that before the start. So we'll take a look at Jude Dodd will be the first up for us to go through. From Hawthorn Cycling Club in Victoria, 180 centimetres. Yep. So tall, strong rider.
Yep.
He does ride on the road for Nostromo Attacker Cache, which is a great domestic team. So he's clearly very capable as an athlete, but kind of emerging into esports. And it's wonderful to see the riders jump between the disciplines.
We've got Mark Gates here, the powerhouse. He's 181 centimetres tall with a threshold of 350 watts, which is quite incredible. Gives him watts per kilo FTP of, I don't know, thinking off the top of my head, around 5 watts per kilo. So he was a bronze medalist last year in 2025 and has represented Australia in esports worlds in 2025 in the semi-final. And we've got Josh here, Katie.
Yeah, Joshy Harris. Now, he is leading so far. He's in a kind of commanding position after the first race. He's the reigning national champion. Yep. He's represented Australia in the finals in live over in Abu Dhabi and did a tremendous job, might I add. He really is becoming, on an international level, one of the best esport racers around, certainly for Australia.
Yes, and homegrown hero Mitchell Stewart, he's from the Balmoral Cycling Club, and he has some power behind him. Look at that, 375 watts at 76 kilos. I think that's why he came second in that previous race. He qualified 5th in last week's event, and it'll be good to see him hopefully potentially get a silver. And we've got Connor Vickers here, the late incomer.
Yeah, it's been wonderful to have this addition to the competition. He comes from Mount Beauty, so it's pretty lumpy around there. He hasn't done a lot of esports racing, but he's keen and he's doing a really good job. And what we saw in that first race was certainly how he raced into it and started really improving there as well. So it's great to have Connor Vickers here as well. He's a climber, so that course suited him. It will be quite interesting, even for him. How does he approach this second race?
Yeah, correct. Well, we've got 90 seconds to the second race. I haven't had much to recover.
We do. So just before we get to that, our students from QUT had a chat to Josh Harris earlier in the week. So let's hear what he had to say ahead of the racing.
I'd definitely like to uphold the title, but I'm not really feeling too much pressure because I've already won it last year, so nothing's really going to change for me on Friday night if I win or I don't. It's probably the other 4 guys that have got something potentially to achieve that they never have before. So I really want to win, but my life won't change too much on Saturday if that doesn't happen. Esports cycling has really evolved over the last few years to the point where a lot of the top athletes spend the majority of the race out of the saddle, which is quite different to road cycling where aerodynamics matter. Yeah, if you see me standing up pretty much the entire race on Friday, that's why, because that's kind of how the sport's evolved over the last few years, and we've found that indoors on the stationary trainer, we can kind of be really efficient out of the saddle. I'm trying to keep things pretty standard in the lead-in. I mean, I've had some really good performances over the last couple of months, and I've been really consistent in my training. So I haven't changed too much, but 3 days out from the race was my last kind of really hard hit out, and now the next couple of days I'm just easing back a little bit, so I hopefully feel good.
And here we are. I think the race...
So that made me laugh. They actually just had a little blip and they're about to restart the race because we can just see Josh Harris at the moment. But it counted down and we had Josh Harris on one screen, like cool as a cucumber. And then on screen we had Avatar Josh, cool as a cucumber, chilling out. So they're restarting the race. So when that is underway, we'll go to it. The biggest takeaway from that interview, right, like contrast Tilly Fields saying, I won last year, so there's a bit of expectation, a bit of pressure coming in. Josh, he was like, I won last year, so really who cares?
Yeah, the pressure's on the other 4 riders. And he's very calm, casual and collected.
It's interesting, right, because the question is, and I think every athlete's different, is winning a national title as big every time? Or is it the first time where you then believe that you can do it that changes who you are as an athlete and a person, and after that you just sleep well because you know what you're capable of and you know that you might have good days and bad days. Now, our student journalist also had a chat to Mark Gates, who is on the right of screen. I'm kind of doing my lefts and rights here. So let's hear what Mark Gates had to say earlier in the week.
First year, I surprised myself a bit. I think that was probably the best result because we had to get through live heats and then into the final. And I actually only got in as a wild card because someone else couldn't make it. Last year, I felt pretty comfortable because we could do it from home. So there was no I didn't have to stay in a hotel, didn't have to fly, didn't have to get up early. I just went out into the shed and just did what I normally do. So I've never actually had to transport my own bike before, but luckily the group that I ride with, we've got a group chat on Facebook, and I just said, hey guys, anyone got a bike bag I can borrow? And within about 10 seconds, 3 people responded. I think it's cool just to be able to showcase what we do live in front of people, because it's such a private thing you just do. And like some of the setups people have at home, it's like in their bathroom or in their laundry, and you know, they don't have like this proper big screen or big fan or anything. So, and so many people do it. So I reckon the people that do show up will be really interested to see how it goes. Yeah.
He's so chill. Plumber Mark. We've got Don out there. We might go to Don soon and have a chat, see what's going on over in the Cube. Now, they have confirmed they will be restarting the race. We're just waiting for confirmation on exactly when that is happening.
Correct.
I mean, it's interesting because for the women, they literally got 5 minutes in between. So this break, this extended break, will materially change the race.
Correct.
I feel like everybody but Josh Harris is really glad.
Well, I'm watching him just warm up here, and he's pushing out 8 watts per kilo in a little spin the legs ride. So
it's absurd.
He's relentless, this bloke, I tell you.
I mean, it is interesting, the attitudes, right? Because like Mark Gates in that interview, like, what a cracker, how interesting. But he's also like, you know, this is sort of new, and I didn't necessarily expect to be there the first time, and yeah, very interesting. So we do have Don over in the Cube. Don, can you tell us, it's been a big night of racing so far. What's the atmosphere like? Is everybody still pretty enthusiastic?
I mean, Katie, you were wondering during that first race whether or not Mitch Stewart's family was being excited about seeing their man compete here tonight. And obviously the hometown hero, they were absolutely raucously loud upstairs here. And generally the vibe has been pretty upbeat. I mean, way more than I expected even. The crowd is packed. There's a lot of people here tonight waiting and watching, friends, family, enthusiasts. It's been incredible out here.
Hey, Don, raucously loud, that is a wonderful term. Fantastic vocabulary. Now, we have been kind of challenging each other in here to how long we reckon we could ride out of the saddle like Josh Harris just was. I think I've convinced Sean to give it a go. Can I convince you to give it a go?
Well, listen, I have to admit, I've never ridden a bicycle in my life. I don't know about an e-cycling bicycle, but it would take a lot of work to convince me, honestly.
Well, I guess I have some work to do, but I like a challenge. I'm on it. Thank you, Don. Grab yourself a drink and enjoy the vibe in there. Raucously loud. How good is that? I mean, this is also a wonderful experience for the family.
Absolutely.
It's not just about the athletes.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of takes a community, right?
Oh, correct. And you saw before that, I think Kel mentioned that the teamwork behind it all, like you had partners and friends dropping towels off to the riders and water and all this sort of stuff. So it's not just it's a solo event. There's a bit more involved.
So the riders are getting underway in 2.5 minutes. So that's when the race will begin. We'll take a look at the course again in a minute. What I noticed when they used to pretty much be racing from their garage, right, and they'd have cameras set up in the garage so that we could see what was going on. Yeah. But you'd see it was like a hand from God would come in with a water bottle or a towel or something like that, or, you know, a gel on a tray.
Yes.
The different setups people had was pretty funny. But you don't see that, you're right. Like in road cycling, you'll see them go through the feed zone and hold up the musette, the feed bag.
Yep.
But here you tend to just see the athlete, but there are people
in the background.
Yeah, and popping things in as well. So we've got a minute 40 odd until the race starts. Sean, they've had a much bigger recovery than what even they would have expected.
Yeah, correct. So they could have what the common term is, cafe legs right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my definition of cafe legs is when you stop at a cafe and you think it's all lovely, and then when you start again, it literally feels like someone's poured the coffee into your into your legs.
Correct.
Let's hope they don't have that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why usually the riders will just keep tapping away.
But who knows, when Josh hopped off his bike straight away, he might have whipped down to the cafe quickly and grabbed a coffee.
He may well have, maybe a Coke or a Red Bull. So let's take a look at the course. So the first one was Puncher's Paradise, Puncher's Playground. The second course that we're up, we saw this in the women's, is Sprinter's Paradise. Now, it's a very different course from that first one. The point structure is also really different.
Yes. It's we've got 1.5 Ks in length, 26 metres of elevation gain per lap. It was more lumpy than I thought. The women's race did surprise me a little bit, but the powerhouses came through on Tilly Field in that race. So I think in this race, it will be the Josh Harris show again. And as we can see here from our profile, it's quite lumpy. 20 points per lap, double points on the final lap. What's going to happen? We don't know.
Yeah, 8 laps, a kilometre and a half, so not a lot of turnaround between. No. The race has been pushed back just a little. They're just sorting out some issues. But in the meantime, we're going to hear from some of our wonderful supporting partners bringing us this beautiful event here in Brisbane. And we'll have a quick commercial break.
Be more tank.
Be more tank with the GWM Tank 500 plug-in hybrid.
Brisbane to me is just about trying something new.
You've got world-class restaurants, super delicious, lots of flavours.
Everywhere you go, there's great nightlife. It's laid back, and we're just hanging out in the sunshine.
Just walking around and having so much nature is insane to me.
Beautiful sky, beautiful weather. So much to do. You'll just never be bored.
I think Brisbane's for anyone. Yeah, whoever.
It's lively, it's fun.
Brisbane definitely favours the bold.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, so the countdown clock is back on. We are about 3.5 minutes away from the final race.
Yes, there was a few technical issues there. All the riders couldn't join the race, so it's looking promising now.
Daisy,
so.
they're all in the start pen now, and you can just see, like, check out the start line when the graphic comes up of how interactive it is. Look at this. Look at that beautiful gantry that's got, you know, the beautiful art on it. Brisbane Cycling Festival, Brisbane, Queensland. Like, they've done such a wonderful job in game of that, and well done. I've met some of the MyWhoosh team over in Abu Dhabi, and it's just a sensational group of people.
Is it really?
Really dedicated to their craft. It's fantastic. So in that first race, Josh Harris, we saw him dominate.
Yes.
But not dissimilar to the women, we've got quite a tight points tussle.
We do.
For the rest of the podium.
Correct. Josh has the clear lead at the moment with 196 points, but the battle for second and third, it's a dead heat, 148 points. Jude Dodd, not far behind. He's still in the race. And same with Connor Vickers. The worst thing is, on this next race, it's only 1 point separation between each place per lap.
Yeah.
It's like, I think Josh may have this in the bag.
It's very tough. I mean, I think for Josh, he can be a bit more conservative in this. But I know Josh, and conservative isn't really his style.
He's got that competitive edge.
So I don't think that is the track that he'll take, actually. But the opportunity for Stewart and Gates in particular is, can they get points ahead of, like, can Stewart be ahead of Gates with someone in the middle?
Oof.
So it's not just like, it would be an ideal situation, because I think Josh Harris will just, go for gold because he's Josh Harris.
Yes.
We should make a verb out of it. He's going to be harassing or something like that. And
harassing the competitors.
Yeah. Oh, I see, it works,
yeah,
right?
There we go.
Right. Little slide of tongue there. Now, if he goes off the front and Stewart can go with him, and then Stewart can beat Harris for some points, he gets that gap back to Gates. But likewise, Gates could go
exactly.
And here's an interesting one. What do you think? There's always a little bit of collusion in cycling.
There is. And
like
Gates and Harris.
In a team sport.
Gates and Harris, good mates. They've done a lot of Zwift racing together and MyWhoosh racing. So
yep, both from Lonnie, both from Launceston. One's a plumber, that's Mark Gates. Josh Harris, he's literally in-game racing with a beanie on.
Yeah.
So, that shows you a little bit of temperament.
There's no need for beanies up here in sunny Queensland, though.
There is no, and we can confirm he doesn't have one on in person. But they've got just under a minute to start. It's been a much bigger recovery than what they would have anticipated. That also changes the way you race, because you prepare knowing that it's essentially 2 20-minute races butted against each other with only a very short gap.
Yeah, correct. It's actually going to be interesting to see how this one's race compared to the women's. I think it will be a little bit quicker than the women's. So will it be the Josh show? Will it be the Mitchell Stewart show? Will Mitch show those watts per kilos he's got up his back sleeve?
Yeah, I mean, very realistically, just in the final sprint, you can gain 8 points on somebody. So if we cast our eye down between Mitch Stewart, who's on 148 points, and Connor Vickers, who's on 130, it really is anybody's game.
And we're off.
And we're off.
And we're racing.
And we're racing. 12 kilometres left before we will see a winner crowned for the 2026 AusCycling Esports National Championships.
It's quite a tame start at the moment, to be honest. It's unlike in the women's race where Brianna went hell for leather.
She did,
from the gun.
Yeah. Well, and Peter Antonello was like, get out of my way, I'm a sprinter.
Correct.
Let me at it. You can see the body language. They're out of the seat, but they're very conservative. But we've got Josh Harris's numbers, and there he is, 49.50 cadence.
That's insane. I don't think I've even done strengthies that low. That's
I mean,
incredible.
it is common practice to train at very low cadence so that it's almost like replicating a gym effort, but on the bike.
Yes.
To race like that is kind of insane.
Yeah.
It's something different altogether. And we're certainly seeing that there's a conservative start to the race. All 5 of them are almost... They're not looking at each other. Like we can see from Mark Gates, they're just glued to the screen in front of them because that's where their competitors are.
This is a typical points race, isn't it?
Yeah, like you've got to be efficient, and I think they also need to re-warm up a little bit.
They probably do, to be honest. They've had a big break, close to 20 minutes, would you say?
Yeah, and their heart rates would have dropped very significantly.
Yeah, exactly.
Through that. Connor Vickers, the first to move. Now, he really rode through that last race and came into his own. There is a little bit of a lump before they go down into the start-finish. He's taken the opportunity, there he is out of his seat, to really push ahead. He hasn't really distanced the group, but if he keeps going and there is any hesitation behind, and there we have it tick over even to the 1 second, if they don't chase him...
Well, yeah, the first points are his.
I mean, because of the point differential overall. So reminder, Josh Harris is on 196. Very hard to beat him.
Yeah.
Not impossible, but difficult. Mitch Stewart and Mark Gates are both on 148. Jude Dodd on 138. Connor Vickers on 130. Very tight. Josh Harris, he says, no, thank you.
Jeez, he is reefing on those bars, isn't he?
Yeah, and he is in hot
Connor.
pursuit of Connor Vickers, and that's the sprint that we're seeing from behind now. Connor Vickers will take those first points.
How much did that take out of Connor, though? That's the thing. Like, a big effort like that, and look at that, they've already gapped Connor. Connor's already to the back because they sprinted over that line so fast.
Well, they're very different styles of racing, aren't they?
Yeah, correct. Like, and just momentum is key here, isn't it?
Certainly is. Mitchell Stewart taking the opportunity to have a little bit of a breather in between. Josh Harris, I saw his avatar actually sit down for a moment there. What is happening?
He's an enigma, this bloke.
So a reminder, they've got 8 laps, 1.5 kilometres per lap, 12 kilometres total. Each time through the start-finish, there is 20 points on offer for the winner. That then goes down to 5th, so 16 points for 5th. They do 8 laps. On the 8th lap, it is double points, 40 points for the winner, 32 for 5th. Points in between. Josh Harris says, thank you very much. I would like every point available to me.
He's doing a Tilly Field here.
Well,
except he didn't get the first points.
Yeah, there you go. Connor Vickers took the 20. Mark Gates, and that's where
that's the race we're
battle
watching.
Is
Mark Gates is currently leading Mitchell Stewart. So Mark is currently in the silver medal position.
So he's a point ahead at this stage of Stewart, who's sitting in the bronze, but Jude Dodd on 154 points, not too far behind.
Yeah.
It's for Josh Harris, like, it actually doesn't change his race whether he's out the front by a minute or further back. And you might think for Gates, Dodd, Vickers, Stewart, well, just let him go.
Yeah.
But if they let him go, it then becomes a race between 4, and you can't get as many gaps between the points.
Correct.
So you don't really want that to happen, actually.
You don't.
Josh Harris, well, he's not really fussed. He doesn't really care about the silver and the bronze.
He's just sitting there doing his own thing.
Well, no, he's not actually sitting there doing his own thing. That's he doesn't sit at all, essentially.
I was thinking before, I hope he doesn't have like carbon handlebars and like an ultra light front cockpit there, because I reckon the amount of weight he puts through those bars.
But see, I mean, that's actually, like, it's a really good point for these athletes. It would, in many circumstances, you'd be going into the bike shop saying, no, I don't want the new light fancy stuff.
Correct.
Like, give me the heavy, robust stuff, because I will be reefing on it and putting the frame through all sorts of torsion that it possibly wasn't designed for. Jude Dodd, he's showing just the consistent power that is needed on the pedals.
Yeah.
To try, and he's in a group, and 5 riders, 5 different styles. Mark Gates, he's out of the seat quite explosively, but he will sit down a fair bit.
Yeah.
His cadence is much higher when he's out of the seat.
Yeah, that's rather impressive, to be honest.
Yeah. You've got all these things you need to try at home after this, Sean. So there's our leader, Josh Harris. He took the second sprint win and has now ridden away. 12 seconds he has on the chasing, and there is...
Look at this. We've got Mitchell got the second sprint, which is, again, tied up the overall points. So Mitchell and Mark are still toe-to-toe for the silver medal.
Think of it this way. Well done, Josh Harris. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Now, can we please talk about the silver medal?
Yes.
Because that's where the real competition is at the moment.
But should we nickname Josh Harris Tadej Pogacar?
Oh, yeah. Josh Tadej Harris.
Yes.
I like it.
And there we go. He crosses the line again. It's a bit of a one-horse race. He's got 15 seconds on the crew, but he's not letting up, I tell you that much.
I mean, strategically, Stewart and Gates, it's just going to become a sprintathon.
Yeah.
Between the two.
Mitch just got it over Mark again.
So that will put Mitch a point ahead
Jesus,
of Mark Gates. So it's literally changing every single lap. Jude Dodd and Connor Vickers, they're together.
Yes. There's a decent gap now. We're seeing them come through now, and this is sort of how they all placed last week in the qualifying event. Josh got the bickies there, and Mitch and Mark were close on the podium there. But yeah, it's going to be a good fight for this second position.
So Mark Gates has finished third on the last 2 occasions.
So
event.
He's hungry for a silver.
Is he third time lucky? I mean, he's the most chill bloke you'll ever come across. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure that he's too fussed beyond wanting to race his absolute hardest and do his best.
Yes.
But it is a 1-point differential. Josh Harris leads by 50 points on 253. It's Mitchell Stewart and Mark Gates that are fighting it out for the next points.
They are certainly fighting it out because Mitchell has just unleashed an attack on the climb before the last sprint, and he's putting some time and distance into Mark. And if Mitch can hold this power for the next, what do we got to go? Just over 6 kilometres to go. If he can hold this, 6 kilometres isn't far if you're hungry for a silver medal.
Yeah, so I mean, Mitch Stewart has really said, like, hey, Gatesy, hold my beer.
Oh,
like,
he's sucking in the big ones over here.
And that's why it's really good, because you look at the numbers, but to see the face as well. Now, remembering that Mitch is a local, he's got his wife and his kids here, their cheering was described as raucously loud, right? So he has got people, and the fans can come within about 2 arm lengths of the bike, the setup. So they're right there, being able to cheer him on. He'll need that.
He
will definitely need
every bit of that,
because he made a very big effort there to gap away from Mark Gates.
Jeez, and he's actually holding this gap as well. It's almost out to 10 seconds here. So,
and I mean, you can see we're seeing the avatar of Mark Gates out of the seat, building on the power. But Mitchell Stewart, he's answering every time. Also, the big frame out of the seat. Now, Josh Harris is, dare I say it, out of the seat.
Yes.
Still has been for the entire race.
Yep. We've got Jude and Connor together at the back of the pack. And like they got a little battle in themselves. Who's going to get fourth here? I was talking to Connor before the event actually, and he was just stoked to be here. He's like, I'm already starting the event top 5 in the country.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
What a great attitude to have. So if he gets top 4, I reckon Connor's hungry for that as well. So that's going to be a good little battle come the finish line, because the double points are on the line there.
It is pretty impressive racing. Now, Mitchell Stewart on the left, and if you are watching it, he's on the right if you're, being really accurate with the right and left of screen. There is lap 4. Mitch Stewart and Mark Harris is the emerging big battle going on here. Josh Harris is just increasing his overall lead and his comfort in doing that.
Yeah.
It's only just past the halfway, right? So we've still got 4 sprints left to go, one of which is double points. That's meaningful when there's only 1 point between Gates and Stewart.
Correct.
So if Stewart wants to make sure he protects himself from that final sprint, he does need to keep this gap from Mark Gates. But it's like all of these individuals now, time trialling out there through sprint points.
Yep.
It's brutal. This is the man dishing out most of the punishment.
He's still putting down the power as well, Josh. He hasn't put the clutch in at all. He's taken this all the way to the line. 7 watts per kilo. That's no zone 1 recovery, I'll tell you that much.
Ridiculous is the word I like to use. Connor Vickers, there he is on screen. Now, he and Jude Dodd are together.
Yes.
So there's a little race going on between the pair of them. Jude Dodd, I was about to say, they're like chilled in between and then racing to the checkpoints. But I think the visual is, and that's the sprint we're seeing there for the pair of them going through. Jude Dodd finishing just ahead of Connor Vickers.
Yeah, there's a bit of a carrot for Jude and Connor too, with Mark 10 seconds ahead of them. Like 10 seconds isn't far on on the picture. So
No, well, and on one hand, Mark Gates is desperately hoping that they catch him and perhaps keep going and help him bridge back to Mitchell Stewart. On the other hand, it means that the point gap between Mitchell Stewart and he, instead of being 1,
yes,
might become 3.
Correct.
So that's, less positive.
Yes.
But all upside for Mitchell Stewart at the moment if he keeps going.
He's got a good gap on Mark now. It's out to 25 seconds. And, geez, Mitch is looking determined there, isn't he?
He certainly is. And you can see the grimace. But there is the determination on the face of Mark Gates. Changing gears. He'll get up out of his seat soon. He's a really variable rider. Josh Harris there in total control.
Yep.
He got the maximum amount of points, almost maximum points in that first race, bar the first sprint where he got 3rd.
Yes.
He did the same here. He got 3rd in the first sprint and then off he chuffed. And he's been getting maximum points since. So
we just saw there Mitch on the downhill. Clutch in.
Yeah.
Not even spinning the legs. He's taken full advantage of every downhill. Just getting as much recovery in as possible.
And he's very much, what we're seeing is 2 very different styles from Mitch Stewart. Like, he's in strife, but he's in a good race position.
Correct.
And so it's smart for him to then really make the most of it in those moments of pinch, especially over those little lumps, which on the profile don't appear to be anything, but from experience I can tell you they certainly are. And I think he's being very, very smart. Very good energy management.
Yeah.
And he's riding himself into a silver medal if he keeps going with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
But interestingly, behind what we're seeing is Jude Dodd and Connor Vickers are starting to get closer to Mark Gates. If the 3 of them rejoin and there's Mark out of his seat.
Oh, look at that cadence. He is grinding.
He is.
There.
He's taking a book out of Josh Harris's, a leaf out of Josh Harris's book.
Now, isn't it crazy, the variance in Mark's cadence? Before you mentioned it that he was spinning so fast out of the saddle, but now you can probably see that he's fatiguing a little bit there.
Yes, fatigue. That is the fatigue load is very real for anybody who has done any kind of cycling, let alone esports. You'll understand how much it can bite at the back end, and you can just see the real difference in body language.
Correct.
Connor Vickers on the right.
Cool, calm and collected.
He just looks like a beautiful climber. Like he could do that just all day long.
Yeah.
He's the Jonas.
Correct. I want to see him put
group.
the sunnies on.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very cool. I wonder, maybe we need to buy him a hair tie.
Maybe we do, actually.
Yeah, or a headband.
Yeah, get him a headband.
But the sunnies are doing a good job for the moment. But he just looks like really in control, and to be honest, he could keep going for another hour.
I reckon he could.
And so different formats really suit that. He's also Vickers and Dodd are together.
Yes.
And so for them, beyond the conversation that they're not having, but they're having in their own heads is, can we work together and catch Mark?
Yes.
If not, we're not in a hurry, because actually all that matters is the sprint.
Yeah.
So let's deal with that.
There's double points on the line.
Around there.
Are they doing the equations in their head?
Well, we still haven't got the answer if the women were.
Yeah.
I reckon they weren't. I reckon they vaguely knew, but not beyond that. And it ended up in a 2-point difference between Banerjee and Brianna Samuel. Who doesn't need to be a mathematician out there is Josh Harris.
No.
I think he can be fairly comfortable.
Yeah, he can switch off all math equations.
Just functions away. No spreadsheet needed for him at this stage in the race. Mitch Stewart sitting dutifully in second and in the silver medal position at the moment.
Yep, still holding that 30-second gap to Mark.
And they are coming around now to essentially get the bell. And there is Tilly Field, our gold medalist from the women's competition, watching on and cheering. She must be able to hear us. Go, Tilly, go. Sensational race, by the way. Mark Gates, he's going through, getting the bell lap. Josh Harris on our left. He is our race leader. He will take the gold. He cannot be beaten now, save for falling off his own ergo.
Yeah.
I don't encourage that. Heaven forbid. That would be quite a fail. But we are still seeing the other athletes really battling it out for each and every sprint left. What is good is that they know at this point they've only got one left to do. They've got about 2 minutes left of this racing.
Yeah.
And a reminder to all of them, they're here voluntarily.
They are.
This is your life choices that are playing out, fellas, right now in front of us.
It's questionable.
Yeah, I don't think you're doing it right if there's not a moment where you question your own life choices while racing a bike.
Correct. And I think we're just about to see Josh cross the finish line here. But as we can see, he's cleaned up again, and look at that.
It's I'm wondering, are we going to get a victory salute as he crosses the line? Oh,
yes.
There we have it. So,
he's done the Matthew Van der Poel.
Josh Harris, congratulations. He is our 2026 AusCycling National Esports Champion. And it looks like Mitch Stewart will be the silver medalist. What a sensational ride
Incredible.
he has had.
Incredible.
His wife and his kids are in the crowd. That's very exciting. My only request for Mitch is to grow the moustache back from the profile photo. That was very funny. And a sensational bronze again. The most predictable rider in the entire sport, Mark Gates.
He is.
You can pretty much say that it doesn't matter who turns up, he gets on the podium.
Yeah.
And that's pretty impressive, like
It
that
is.
kind of consistency.
Yep.
Can I say Connor Vickers and Jude Dodd, what incredible emerging talents they
Correct.
are. They're both very good on the road. And I really just would love to see Connor Vickers climbing up Falls Creek.
Yes.
Because I feel like that's just right in his wheelhouse.
Correct.
And I really hope that Jude Dodd continues with esports because I think he's got a real natural talent for it.
He does. He's a bit of a powerhouse.
It was a sensational race. We will hear from Josh Harris soon, but for everybody watching at home, they are just absolute champions.
They are.
These riders, and I can say in very good news, on the set here we had the champions jersey and gold medals. Someone's just come in and snatched them away, which means that podiums are coming. So we'll try and get the winners interview soon with Josh Harris, and we did get to talk to Tilly Field earlier. That was just remarkable.
It was. It was a domination by Josh. He's just shown that he's a former national champion, and now he's a current national champion again.
Yeah, that's right. And this sport is really growing on an international level. And, even the way that he approached the racing, his technique on the bike,
yes,
out of the seat. I mean, is that something you've ever seen before?
I've never seen it, and I actually didn't know that was a bit of a esports hack.
Yeah,
get out of the saddle. Like, it's something that I may try, but I don't know. But
no.
It's definitely an evolving sport, and like we talk of nutrition in the real world, but in esports, it's out of the saddle.
Yeah, well, you promised to try. Someone else who promised to try. Don, I'm holding you to your commitment to try esports. What's it like out there?
I mean, to be honest, when you look at the results, you may think, oh, it's the same as last year. But the fact of the matter is completely different, because last year, Josh Harris won from his garage in Tasmania, and Tilly Field won from a hotel in Girona, Spain. So to compete on Australian soil in front of your competitors and to emerge victorious as the nation's best in front of a reactive crowd, I mean, it's completely different.
Yeah, you make a very good point about that. Now, we were kind of having a bit of a laugh every time we saw the images of the athletes at all of the different styles. Some were out of their seat with high, pedalling fast, some were sitting down, pedalling slower. What I want to know is, did you see the same happening with the fans? Were they different styles amongst the cheering?
I mean, obviously, Mitch Stewart's family, they went down to the downstairs just to see, their man compete and get that silver. I mean, it's an incredible experience seeing all these fans lock in for those last few minutes, because it is an entirely different space within those, final stretch.
Oh, that is fantastic. Don, thank you very much for reporting from the Cube. It's so wonderful to have the students in there supporting this broadcast and kind of learning the craft and learning a little bit about esports along the way. So we've got Mark is in the... For a moment, I was like, Mark Gates. No, Mark, our reporter.
Yes.
He is in the Cube with our winner, Josh Harris.
All right, guys, I am joined by Josh Harris. What can I say, Josh? That was an amazing race. You dominated from start to finish. What does an accomplishment of winning back-to-back mean to you?
Yeah, it feels great to retain the title. I told you the other day that I didn't feel much pressure, but that was probably to take some pressure off myself. I did want to come here and win, so to do it was fantastic. And given the type of rider that was here, I knew that I'd have to make the race, and I didn't know whether I could. So to get it done in those circumstances was awesome.
Perfect. Now, Josh, will we see you back next year for the three-peat?
Hopefully, yeah. At this stage, I'm pretty satisfied with what I've accomplished in esports, but while I'm having fun, I don't see any reason to not keep coming back to these events. So, yeah, no doubt.
All right, perfect. Josh, and another question for you. To my understanding, the rider's positioning is randomized. However, you were sat next to your good friend, Mark Gates. Yeah. What does competing next to someone like him mean to you? Does it give you extra motivation to your competitive spirit?
It's great to be in Brisbane with Gatesy. I mean, we race together all the time on a Discord call, so to be side by side with him is awesome. But also to be next to Mitch, I felt like those two guys were probably the big threats today. So to be next to them, you can kind of see what they're doing as well, which is a good thing.
Oh, perfect, Josh. Now, to celebrate, are we going to see another beer mile from you by any chance?
Not soon, but maybe a beer or two, and I might even go for a run in the next few days. Who knows?
Yeah, fair enough. Well, that's it from me here. I'll pass it back to Kate and Sean.
That is sensational, Mark. Thank you. And I wonder how many people can say in their first live broadcast that they got to ask somebody about a beer mile.
Correct.
So a win from him too. I loved that Josh Harris, the old wily fox. He says, okay, maybe I did feel a bit of pressure and maybe I said that to take it off myself.
It's all about the mind games.
It is, isn't it?
Yes, correct. And he played them well.
Yeah.
He played them very well. And one thing that Josh was doing that the ladies weren't doing was analysing his competitors. And he even made mention of that. He goes, it was good to be surrounded by Mark and Mitch, the two big dogs that were there. So it's quite a different tactic. So
It is. And I think that sometimes the tactics get undersold in esports. You know, when you first start jumping on the bike and going in game, you might think it's just a lovely jaunt around a wonderful graphical world with some wonderful hippopotamuses and other such things. But actually, a lot goes into it. So there's the physicality of it all, but there is also a lot of strategy.
Oh, correct. And Josh played it very intelligently.
He did. He's a very smart bike rider, indeed. And I've loved watching him develop through the sport. We've got the podiums coming up, so both for the women and also for the men. They don't just get a gold medal. They also, the winner, so Tilly Field and Josh Harris, they get the green and gold jersey.
They do.
That's a pretty special moment and a pretty big takeaway beyond kind of bragging rights that you won.
Correct. They also get a green and gold jersey virtually on MyWhoosh.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which is pretty cool. So
it'll match Josh's yellow beanie.
Yes, correct. He was thinking ahead with that.
Yeah, definitely. And it is quite an honour. Not a lot of sports do it, but give you like a piece of garb that you can then resplendently wear for the rest of the season.
Or put it in the pool room, one or the other.
Put it in the pool room.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody needs a good pool room. All right, while we're waiting for these presentations, aside from Tilly, aside from Josh, we just know that their dominance was incredible. Take away from the women's race.
Take away from the women's race, absolute sensational ride by Katie. She works hard during the week and shows up here and puts out a stellar performance. Shows age is no barrier. It was incredible. How about the males race for you, Katie?
And I think that's a story, right? All of these riders have these incredible stories. And two of the women in the women's field were in their early 50s. Which is relevant because it just shows the longevity of the kind of athletes that thrive in an environment that they have a lot more control in, and that's what esports is. You're not away for 9 months, a year away from the family, racing. You're able to kind of essentially go about your day and your day job while also racing as well. What about for the men?
Yeah, that's the beauty about esports is it's in your garage.
It is. So take away from the men other than Josh?
Oh, it's got to be the hometown hero, Mitchell Stewart.
Yeah.
Like, congratulations. Incredible. Great ride by him.
Yeah.
It was a good battle between him and Mark, and it made it very interesting, that race. So, yeah.
You've raced against him on the road.
Yeah.
Knowing where you've sat next to him, do you now think, I might give this a crack? I'm really encouraging him very hard.
You are. It's Mitch is wired a bit different and very determined, and he's got that. He never stops, So it was good to see that follow through today. Potentially, maybe I'll try esports out. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll get you on there. And it is very, very impressive to see the athletes race, and also what an experience it is for the families to be part of.
Correct, yeah.
Because I think it doesn't really matter where it is you're racing, you always race in different spots, right? So when it is a hometown race and it is that opportunity, and people talk about it with World Championships, with Olympics or something, but National Championships is pretty impressive. Now, after an incredible night of racing, of course, the awards are coming. So the podiums are not too far away, and that is both for the women and for the men. So the women will be up first. And that was a podium that, with a couple of kilometres left to go, were very variable. We will go to the presentations now, so I'll hand you over to Bear Liang, who has the presentations for the women's race.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming this evening. It's been a fantastic edition of the championships. We've been here. This is our third year in a row. Thank you to the QUT Cube for looking after us. And also a big thanks to the people from Jet Black. Jet Black have provided all of the trainers. And very generously, the winner of each event tonight gets a trainer to take home. So hope you didn't ride in, Tilly. All right, so our podium for the 2026 Esports Championship. In third place, Brianna Samuel. The silver medal going to Katie Banji. And the winner for the second year in a row, and the National Esports Female Champion, Tilly Field. So please put your hands together one more time for our Esports Elite Women podium, Brianna Samuel, Katie Banerjee and Tilly Field. Thank you very much. And thank you to Carline Cardyke for presenting the medals from AusCycling Major Events. Right now we have the men. And in third place in the Esports National Championships for the elite men is Mark Gates. Mark accumulated 311 points. The silver medal going to Mitchell Stewart. With 318 points, and a decisive victory for our champion 2 years in a row, Josh Harris. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Gates, Mitchell Stewart and Josh Harris.
Field is the national champion for the women, Josh Harris for the men, and Sean, what a sensational night of racing.
Incredible night put on by QUT. The Cube, what a great atmosphere it was.
It really has been. It is a beautiful venue in here, and this in-person format is absolutely electric and so wonderful. These Esport National Championships are part of the Brisbane Cycling Festival, and it's just been sensational to be in this fantastic venue. Thank you very much for having us. We'll be back next year.
Yep.
In the meantime, you've got Sunday Race Club.
I got Sunday Race
to get
Club.
onto.
Yep. I'm jumping on board.
And I urge everybody at home to play along. This is such a wonderful format. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next year.
Ciao.